And welcome to Football Friday here in FastPlaySports. We're here at Walter Cross Field in Kokomo for a heck of a ball game that we're expecting here tonight as the Kokomo Wildcats play host to the Lafayette McCutcheon Mavericks. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott. And as you set the stage for a game like this, you see two conference opponents this year. One happens to be ranked in 4A, the other, a 5A team, which is Kokomo, has some things to prove here. Are the Mavericks 4A too?
They're 5A.
They're 5A. Okay, I got that confused. I hate to do that in the open of the game, but hey, look at the pageantry here at Walter Cross Field as we get started here today. But as we mentioned, these two teams, this could really settle what the conference is going to be like for the rest of the year.
Yeah, not only conference, but it's actually a rematch of last year's sectional matchup that Kokomo had. They lost the game to McCutcheon by a substantial amount, so it's a rematch for Kokomo. We'll get to see where they stand now. It's a nice measuring stick, considering McCutcheon right now is ranked 7th in the AP poll and 8th in the coaches poll. It's a very tough team and probably one of the better teams in the state.
McCutcheon comes into tonight's game undefeated, 3-0. They won their first two games in non-conference play. And, of course, that was against Zionville by the score of 21-13. Then they beat West Lafayette 45-37. And last week to open up conference play, they beat Lafayette Jeff 55-14. Kokomo with a 2-1 record on the year had their opener against Mount Vernon. They won with great poise and fashion by the score of 55-7. Then they had the heartbreaker in the loss to the ranked team Fort Wayne by the score of 53-47. And then last week, a record-setting score against Marion to open up conference play, 66-7, the final that took us a couple of days to finish. So the two teams come together with a couple of offenses that we'll be talking about during our pregame here that are pretty special.
Yeah, both teams are heavy run. You can expect McCutcheon to be 75% run, 25% pass. They have a couple weapons, such as their tight end. We'll talk about him here in a second. But, yeah, for the most part, both teams are going to be ground and pound, running the ball. Expect the clock to be running a lot today.
We've got a lot to present to you during our Howard County pregame show, so more to come here as we get rolling. Our presentation is brought to you by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. Devin Schott talks to Kokomo coach Brett Colby coming up. We are Fast Play.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Button.
Choose from a selection of over 500 brand new Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, and Rams. Let our experienced team help find the perfect vehicle for you. And every purchase is backed with amazing Button customer service. Get behind the wheel of the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200, designed and engineered to outperform the best vehicles in the industry. Button, on the corner of Clayton Boulevard, or on the web at buttondodge.com. Imported from Detroit.
Built in Kokomo!
Sold at Button.
Welding students from the Kokomo Area Career Center helped create a new look for Walter Cross Field.
They actually designed, built, and finished all the benches and screens and lattice work.
Hardest part of the project, the benches, personally, which probably would have been the overhead welds I had to do when I was welding underneath the bench.
It kind of makes me happy. I mean, to see that it's out somewhere so people can see it.
This is Devin Schott with Fast Play Sports. I'm here with head Kokomo coach Brett Colby. Now, Brett, you're facing another top 10 team this week. You faced Wayne 2 weeks ago. This team is ranked 8th in the coaches poll. Do you feel like this McCutcheon team is your biggest test of the season?
Up front, there's no question. They're the best team we've played offensively and defensively. And, they're well deserving of where they're at ranked-wise. And, our kids want a little respect. And, we tried to get that against Wayne and had our chance and kind of let one slip away. I told our kids that it's going to be tough to play anybody more athletic than Fort Wayne, and it's going to be tough to play anybody more physical up front than these guys. So, we're prepared for the rest of our season by playing those two teams this early in the year, but we need to get one of these games.
Now, McCutcheon lost Indiana All-Star Nate Deno last year. He had 1,500-plus yards, but the offensive line has returned pretty much every single starter from last year, and now McCutcheon has a new running back who also has 9 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Now, do you guys have a special plan for shutting him down tonight?
Well, we honestly, we put a defense in this summer based on our personnel, what we felt was the best thing we could run, and a lot with this team in mind of what they do offensively. They're a zone scheme. They run a lot of power. They run a lot of zone at you. So, we did a lot of things this summer, researching and putting things in we thought our kids could do the best to play maybe the best team on our schedule. And, we'll see where we're at. We'll see what we got defensively for them. And, we got a lot of young kids, first-year starters in there, but we're going to give it a shot and get out here and hopefully get after them.
Well, there it is, folks. Another tough test for the Kokomo Wildcats today. We'll see you live at 7 o'clock. We are Fast Play. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Dad.
Master Creations Jewelry is your best option for buying jewelry. Master Creations Jewelry sells for half the price of most jewelers. Locally owned, Master Creations makes custom jewelry made for you. Are you also in need of cash? Master Creations buys gold, silver, and your old jewelry. Get the best value from people you can trust. Work with a jeweler that makes jewelry affordable. Master Creation Jewelers on Markland Avenue and Cooper Street, Kokomo.
KT Sports will give you the latest in local sports scores, news, and features right where you want them, in the Kokomo Tribune and at kokomotribune.com. KT Sports will bring you last night's touchdown passes, smashes and saves, and a preview of what you can expect at the latest tennis match and cross-country finish line. Your neighbor's kids, your son, your niece, your grandkids, KT Sports will bring their games right to your doorstep. Positively part of the game, KT Sports.
We're here at the Howard County pregame show here with Northwestern head coach John Hendricks. And a week ago, the Tigers had an awesome opportunity to go play at Lucas Oil Stadium. It was up against Lewis Cass, tough team, but tell us about the experience you guys had playing where the Colts play.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for the kids, a lot of fun for the coaches. It's pretty rare that a high school kid gets to go play where the Super Bowl was a couple years ago. And, we talked about that. We talked about the fact that, this weekend Purdue and Notre Dame are going to be in there. So, just nice to be on a stage that so many great athletes have been on, and the kids really appreciated it.
It wasn't just the varsity either. I mean, there was some youth football opened up in this whole thing. The marching band was there as well. I mean, it was a big day for Northwestern football.
Right. We had hundreds of kids involved. Our middle school kids went early and scrimmaged before our game, and like you said, the band was involved. So it wasn't just our 70 football players. It was hundreds of students that were involved with things, others that went to the game, and it's nice to go down to Indianapolis, have that experience. And I told the kids, win, lose, or draw, it's something they'll never forget.
Now let's talk about the Tiger season so far for you. I mean, you've had some success so far this year, especially before you got into conference play, but you've got some strength here in this final year of the MIC to end up on top.
Well, we hope so. Last week was a little bit of a stumbling block, and we really think our first two games probably really hurt us. Our starters played a couple quarters in the first game. We only played one quarter of the second game, so we hadn't even gotten a full game of football in going into week 3. And that was tough, and we thought it was evident, especially in the first half. We came out in the second half and we're a completely different team, especially defensively. We forced Cass into, I think, 6 consecutive 3-and-outs, and that's very, very difficult to do, but our kids did it, and I have to give them credit for that. And, I have a lot of different people ask me, what did you change at halftime? Well, we didn't change anything at halftime. We just challenged their manhood a little bit and play with a little more speed and a little more physicality, and it really changed the way we looked defensively.
We love change. There's a change in the weather, too, and I think that benefits football. I mean, at this interview date here on Thursday, we're into a colder stretch now. Is this football weather for you?
Yeah, finally. Finally. It's been crazy. We had no heat during the preseason, which is very abnormal, and it's kind of disturbing as a coach because it's coming and you have to play in it, and then that's exactly what happened. We spent 2 weeks of practice and it was 70 degrees out here. Games begin and it's 90 with 95% humidity. So, yeah, it's nice to finally get the weather to change over. And I don't know if we've had a week for about 2 or 3 weeks, so we haven't been indoors either. You have that one day a week, you have the thunderstorms pop up. So hopefully things will settle down and fall will arrive and it'll dry up a little bit.
Well, Coach, we have you on the Fast Play Sports schedule for next week. We look forward to seeing you play here at your home field here at Northwestern. Good luck to you this week, and congratulations on the success this year and the opportunities you've had for your program. We wish you well.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Welcome back live to our Howard County pregame here in Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football here tonight, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott, and of course in that game we were talking about with Coach Hendricks, Lewis Cass was the victor at Lucas Oil Stadium by the score of 28-7. So for an opening conference game in the MIC for the Tigers, they suffered a loss, but they had a couple of what I think Coach Hendricks referred to as a couple of soft first two opponents in non-conference play. So their record's a little bit deceiving. They'll be better as this season goes on. We get to see them next week here on Fast Play Sports when they host Taylor at Northwestern. The rest of the games around the MIC, Peru over Eastern 17-7. Western beat Taylor 39-0. And, of course, Cass over Northwestern 28-7. So you look at the standings in the MIC in our Howard County pregame. Heights, they're kind of at the top, 2-1. Lewis Cass is 2-1. Peru is 2-1. And then, of course, Northwestern is on the road playing at Western tonight. That's a big MIC contest right here in Howard County. Eastern, McConaughey, Taylor are all trying to get themselves their first wins yet this season. So we'll touch more on them as we move on. Our Howard County pregame continues with a nice look at both of these two offenses that face each other tonight. Kokomo hosting McCutcheon. We'll talk more about that coming up here in our pregame. We are Fast Play.
Men and women of UAW 1166 are committed to a great product and a great community. UAW 1166 represents the workers at the Kokomo casting plant. Proud to have helped Chrysler resume its role as a leader in the automotive industry. UAW 1166 encourages you to buy what we build locally. Buy Chrysler products. Strength and solidarity, more important than ever.
Welcome to Creative Financial Center. Our financial advisors look forward to serving you in the financial planning process.
Creative Financial Center is the name of a building dedicated to providing individuals, families, businesses, and organizations with quality financial products and or services for the achievement of their goals and objectives through a network of associates committed to serving clients in a Christ-like manner by assisting them in the development of stewardship in their lives, believing that it profits a man nothing to gain the whole world and lose his soul.
We look forward to seeing you.
All right, the teams are coming out on the field, and we're about to get ready for kickoff here at Kokomo as Kokomo Wildcats host the McCutcheon Mavericks here on Fast Play Sports coverage of Friday Night Football. Our game of the week is going to be an excellent here as you watch it live here at FastPlaySports.com, also through the link at the KokomoPerspective.com. Replays available always in our archive at FastPlaySports.com. And, of course, we look forward to entertaining you on Xfinity Channel 81 Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. as we replay the Friday night contest for you there. Let's talk about these two offenses in this game. Devin, I know what you're looking at are the two teams that really lead the conference in offensive production. Kokomo is leading the NCC in rushing with 1,129 yards in just rushing yards for the Wildcats. Not too far behind is McCutcheon. They're second with 879.
Yeah, Kokomo's got two guys that share the workload. You see right there, Jerron Gray and Bo Baker, both atop the conference right now in terms of rushing yards. But one person to watch out for on McCutcheon's side of the ball is Blake Elming. He's got 78 attempts this season, 630 yards total, and 9 TDs in the past 2 games. And McCutcheon lost Nate Dino last year, who we saw on Fast Play Sports during the basketball season. He hit the game-tying shot to take it into overtime against Kokomo. He was an Indiana All-Star, but this Elming kid, He is a real deal running back. And I tell you what, Alan, the line that blocked for Nate Deno last year returned this year. There's a lot of starters, seniors on that offensive line, so watch out for Nate Elmy getting a lot of yards today.
That Kokomo offense begins with 3 seniors, 6 juniors, 1 sophomore, and a freshman quarterback right there. Let's take a look at McCutcheon here. And, of course, they do have the conference leading rusher. Blake Elming is actually number 1 in rushing in the conference, so he's carrying the ball. He'll be wearing number 38 for you here tonight for McCutcheon. Then it's Jerron Gray, Bo Baker. And the 4th leading rusher in the conference going into tonight is Kokomo's fullback, Jordan Holloman, who wears number 44. So they're pretty good. But when you look at McCutcheon, they've got a big offensive line as well. They've got 7 seniors and 4 juniors on that program. The Mavericks' front 6 on offense average 255 pounds across the line. Kokomo averages about 250 pounds. So you see so many similarities as these two teams get ready to face each other tonight. Well, it looks like Kokomo is going to be receiving the opening kick coming up here as we're ready to get underway here at Kokomo tonight. Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott, and we're ready to call what we think is going to be a great ball game for you here tonight at Kokomo's Watercross Field.
And you got to watch out for number 20, Jordan Rollins. Both games we've covered, he's taken one. Or actually against Wayne, we weren't there to cover it, but he took one back to the house. I think 90-plus yards. Last week he took one 80-plus yards. Right now this guy has 2 touchdowns, and he is averaging 46.8 yards per return, so we'll see if they kick it to him here. And they do.
Rollins bobbles that kickoff, but it gives him some running room to the right side, and good saving tackle for McCutcheon on that play as number 34, I'm trying to find him on the roster here, he makes the tackle for McCutcheon and probably saves what could have been a touchdown there for Kokomo.
Yeah, it was a good blocking scheme right there by Kokomo's return team. Unfortunately, Jordan Rollins not able to hit the hole fast enough, but the hole was there. We'll see what Kokomo does from this deep in the
Cole
field.
Garriott with the tackle on special teams. Kokomo starts at the 25-yard line here to get things going here in the first quarter of play. Hand off to Jerron Gray. He fights through the line of scrimmage, and you can see that the battle in the trenches in these 2 lines are going to be tough here tonight.
Tell you what, that's a good way to start out the day. Coach Colby was a little concerned with how well his offensive line would man up against this defensive line of McCutcheon. But right there, a good 4-yard gain right there, and that's all this offense is about.
Quick look at the McCutcheon defense. They're running a 4-3 defense here against Kokomo's tightly knitted offense. Wade under center. He's going to pitch out to Bo Baker this time. He comes around the left side. He's got a little bit of running room, and then the entourage of tacklers comes in, but he gets a nice finish forward. Not a very good spot by the referee, as you can see right there, and it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, you're right. It's enough for a first down right there. Kokomo going with the rocket action, trying to spread out the field a little bit, keeping this McCutcheon defense pretty honest right now. Good job of Jerron Gray by sealing that edge.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats as they're set up on the 38-yard line. First possession of the game here. Kokomo and McCutcheon. Jerron Gray in motion gets the ball. He goes over to the right side for a couple of yards for Kokomo.
It's an all-right gain right there by Jerron Gray, but unfortunately Kokomo not getting off the ball as quick as they should be. McCutcheon in the backfield right there. Alan, let's talk about Kokomo's red zone efficiency. 18 drives this season they have reached the red zone. 17 times they have scored. I thought that was a pretty interesting statistic from Kokomo's standpoint.
Well, they've got half the field to go before they get into the red zone this time. This is Holloman with the ball. He's got some running room. Look at him go. He's got the open. Does he have the speed to get to the end zone? No, but that's still a big gain for the fullback here on 2nd down for Kokomo. You talk about the red zone. Kokomo's there now.
Yeah, here they go right now. Jordan Holloman, what a great game he had last week. Just absolutely carrying the ball down the field, running downhill, getting yards. I think he averaged probably 10-plus a carry last week. Right now, not losing a step. Great run by Mr. Holloman.
Dodge replay. Look at that open field to run in for this big guy. And you love a lot of things about Jordan Holloman. He is a senior, but he's 220 pounds, and he's a load to bring down. First down, Bo Baker gets the call for Kokomo, gets around that left edge once again, and he grinds his way down to about the 8-yard line.
And Kokomo's blocking right there broke down. There were some players in the backfield. Baker quick enough to hit the corner right there, but McCutcheon about had him back in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss.
Kokomo, again, as we mentioned in the pregame, leads the conference in rushing, and they are pounding the ball on the ground against this Mavericks defense right now.
I say you give the ball right back to Holloman, let him run the trap. Looks pretty open to me.
Second down. Holloman gets the call, as you said. Boy, the defense responds right away, but it's still tough to get him down. And penalty flag comes out at the end of the play. We'll see just what the referee saw there.
Right now, McCutcheon's pretty aggressive on defense. They're sending a lot of pressure inside. I'd say we look for maybe a pass play here on third and third and 4. Oh, automatic first down.
Yep,
so we're going to go half the distance here.
McCutcheon has the penalty. So that'll put the ball at the 3-yard line for Kokomo. First and goal for the Cats. On their first possession of the ball game here, they've just grinded this offense down to the scoring position. Baker gets the call. He's got the running room, gets across the goal line. Touchdown.
And McCutcheon just maintaining this aggressiveness inside, trying to clog up these holes, and Kokomo showing that they can get to the edge and they can do it well.
Baker's had a great year for the Cats, and boy, this has been a running back for Kokomo who's got a chance to really put himself in the top 5 for sure in all-time rushing statistics for the Wildcats. But a little more work this year, and he could take the top stop. So how do I say that? The top spot. There you go.
Yeah, he's competing with some really good Kokomo backs when you go back through the history of Kokomo, but that's his 7th TD of the season. He just matched Jerron, who also has 7 TDs for the season. So just a great equilibrium of backs that Kokomo has.
Well, you see these guys sit down on the bench together, and boy, they're such a great complement in the backfield because both of them block for each other. They don't have any rivalry at all in the backfield. They're just proud of the work that they're able to do together, and you can see that they're a tight-knit group. There's the quarterback, Wade, sitting down to him. There's your Kokomo backfield just sitting together on the bench.
Yeah, you said it's just a great tandem duo backs. You got different styles of running. Bo Baker can lower his shoulder when he needs a couple yards. Deron Gray, he's got the just outstanding speed. So what a great drive, great way for Kokomo to start things off.
Well, we talk about McCutcheon's star player, Blake Elming. He's back there as part of the tandem to receive the kickoff from Kokomo coming up as S.A. Dunn is back on the team after playing soccer last Saturday. He'll be kicking off for Kokomo here in a moment. But Blake Elming wears number 38. He's a kid that's got a ton of speed for this McCutcheon team, and we'll see if Dunn is going to kick in his direction or kick away. And it looks like he's kicking to the middle of that formation so the speedster doesn't get the ball. Running the ball back for McCutcheon is Chase. Is it Chase Pettico? Was that Chase Pettico or was that nope, that was Lucas Robinson for McCutcheon, who sets the ball up at the 33-yard line for the Mavericks, their first time on offense in this game.
And McCutcheon's going to come out. Usually they run an I formation. Sometimes they'll offset that I formation with their fullback. But they like to keep defenses honest by passing the ball. Aaron Phillips, McCutcheon's quarterback, leads the conference in passing yards. So we'll see what he can do with the ball in the air.
Up against Kokomo's 3-4 defense, not much penetration there, a few yards on the carrier, but the linebackers get in to make the stop here for the Kokomo D. Flash up the graphic of our starters for the Kokomo Wildcats here. As you look at this defense that has been pretty tough each and every week. Had a little trouble against Fort Wayne, but I'll tell you, in 2 of their 3 games, it's hard to do anything against this Kokomo 3-4 defense.
Yeah, I think their biggest test for this game will be how well they do late in the game. It seemed like their legs kind of wear out late in the game, especially against Wayne. But
up the middle again, it's wide open. He's gone. There is no way that Kokomo is going to catch the speedster. Blake Elming, touchdown for McCutcheon, and that's how dangerous that running back is.
And absolutely untouched from the time that he got through the line all the way into the end zone. absolutely untouched. That's uncalled for on Kokomo's part. They got to clog up those holes, but easy score on McCutcheon's part.
Now, you talked to Coach Colby before the game, and I met with him on Wednesday to get an idea of what they're up against. But look at the defense. They're supposed to basically
untouched.
Yeah, they're the defensive style there, as you see. My gosh, Elming untouched all the way to the end zone. It's over a 60-yard run there for the young man. They're to kick the extra point, and it is good. So that's a tie score in the ball game, 7-7. We want to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back for Kokomo's second series here in our Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football tonight. Presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and Xfinity, we are Fast Play.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Back we are at Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football tonight as they play host to the McCutcheon Mavericks from Lafayette here tonight. And it's all on the ground so far. Kokomo marched down on a nice drive for the first touchdown of the game, and then a quick 3-play series on offense for McCutcheon right before Blake Elming just broke one for a 60-yard touchdown run. It's tied 7-7 as McCutcheon gets ready to kick off to Kokomo. We were talking about the Kokomo defense. They had such great penetration in the offensive backfield against Marion, but he fumbled the ball, but haven't seen who's got possession. We better just pay attention to this for a moment here, see who gets the ball. The ball came loose, stays with Kokomo. But Coach Colby said against McCutcheon, the Kokomo defense really needed to have a more contained style and not a penetrating style defense. But McCutcheon got on their blocks on that touchdown run, and it was open the barn door for the running back for the touchdown.
Right through the heart of the defense right there. Not much to contain.
Well, they still got, you know how it is when you're on defense, so you got to still look for the ball carrier. They're going to call, not sure if they're going to get Kokomo with something, if they're going to call that offsides.
They're going to be on the defense.
Defensive player didn't come across the line of scrimmage there. Quick 5-yard penalty against McCutcheon will move the ball up 5 yards. 1st and 5 now for Kokomo as quarterback Kyle Wade gets the team out of the huddle and brings them to the line. Nice look at the size of these guys in the trenches. A 4-3 defense for McCutcheon. Here comes Bo Baker. He's opening up. Nice first down run as he gets up to just near the 40-yard line. Still in Kokomo territory, but I got a feeling Kokomo can grind this thing out throughout the game by just how these two lines are working right now. And on defense, they just got to look out for the big play.
Yeah, they look solid on offense right now. They're getting yards when they need them. Haven't really been tested too much. Bo Baker right there, nice spin move, getting off the tackle and getting a 5 extra yard gain right there. But was able to wear this McCutcheon defense down.
1st and 10, 39-yard line officially. Baker's in motion, but this time Holloman gets the carry. He's been tough up the middle for Kokomo so far in this game. That was probably a 7-yard carry right there. That is so tough to get him down at his size. Great senior fullback for Kokomo, number 44.
That was a good run by Holloman here, but if you watch the replay, he brings that ball off his body, way off his body, try to get rid of that defender. You got to keep that ball nice and tucked, high and tight.
Well, you sound like a good coach right there. 2nd down at about 3 for Kokomo on this play. Jerron Gray in motion. There's a whistle again.
On the defense.
And here comes the flag.
Tell you what, it must be Kokomo's cadence. Kokomo's got a weird cadence. I'm not sure how it goes now, but back when we played, it was something along the lines of black down, number 19, set red, set go. I mean, just a little hybrid call. You never really heard that anywhere else. McCutcheon right now having some trouble.
His wearing number 1, his motion was legal, so that really drew the defense off sides right there. That's a 1st and 10 now for Kokomo. Wade's going to go back to pass this time. He's rolling right, looking, and, he's got somebody wide open, but, it's intercepted. Oh, my.
And that is Trayshawn Hurd from McCutcheon. Allen, that name should ring bells.
Yes.
Last year on the basketball court, he was one of the best players that McCutcheon had. I think that's actually Trayshawn's third pick for the year. I think he's leading the conference in interceptions, but, just that kid last year during the basketball season just looked absolutely phenomenal.
Overthrew Jerron Gray on the play, and that's unfortunate that, Kokomo certainly does have an advantage on the running game. There's no question they can run the ball against these guys. I think it was okay for Kokomo to test the pass. It's just the freshman quarterback couldn't connect.
Yeah, just a mistake by Kyle Wade right there, even throwing the ball. No one's open. Go ahead and chuck that ball out of bounds.
Stuffing up the middle this time, but not until McCutcheon gets at least a 4-yard gain on that play. Running the ball for McCutcheon, number 45, Cole Girard. He's the fullback on that Mavericks offense.
Tell you what, look at the size of number 87 on McCutcheon. Grant Dempster, the tight end. Coach Colby said before the game, watch out for him. He's a little worried about him and what he can do to this offense if they over pursue. So, big body. I was standing up pretty scared looking at that big boy, knowing that he's only in high school.
2nd and 5, and oh my gosh. Around the left side, he's going to go all the way again. What a student athlete we're seeing from McCutcheon here tonight. As Blake Elming, number 38, his second touchdown run of more than 50 yards in this game. Don't get him in the open. He's going all the way.
I'll tell you, right now he is on pace to have a record-setting day, and not just the NCC, not just high school sports. I'm talking in the nation. He's got 100 yards rushing, and we're not even 5 minutes.
He's got 4 carries in the game, and he's got over 100 yards in this thing. And that's, boy, you talk about a missed assignment on that Kokomo defense. It just left Elming wide open with nothing but grass and the goal line, and he just really made the defense look silly right there.
We predicted, a game where the ball's being run a lot and the clock's constantly rolling, but at this pace, you'd look down at the score and think both teams are spreading the ball out, getting the ball downfield quick.
Well, McCutcheon takes advantage of the turnover by Kokomo after the interception, and they put it in the goal line quickly. And now they're up 14-7 here in the first quarter of play with 6:18 left on the clock. You're watching fast play coverage of this Kokomo. Well, it's a Kokomo McCutcheon Mavericks football game here. This is a conference game, and Coach Colby of Kokomo says this is the toughest opponent they'll see in the regular season, and right now they're down by 7.
Yeah, this has to be the toughest opponent. McCutcheon is a solid team, and right now I'm most impressed with their offensive line. I was told, hey, watch out for their offensive line. They're returning like 5 starters. They're all upperclassmen, and right now they're just blowing Kokomo off the ball defensively.
They really are. And they'll be kicking off to this Kokomo special team that is special in their own right. They've had a couple of runbacks so far this year, but they could probably use one right now here to even the score here in the first quarter. This could be a tremendously high-scoring contest here tonight between Kokomo and McCutcheon, and Kokomo has kind of yielded the scoring advantage after the turnover to McCutcheon, so it's important for them to score right now for sure. Kick it deep. And that bounces right off his chest and out of bounds, so Kokomo is going to have a long, they're going to start at the 11-yard line, so they've got 89 yards to get to the goal line. Our first quarter sponsor of this game is KT Sports. Proud to have them sponsoring Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football here tonight. Our Fast Play game of the week here at Kokomo's Walter Cross Field. Cats are 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And they actually moved that back to, looks like the 9-yard line now. So here's Jerron Gray around the right side. Good blocking out there. Can he make the corner? And he can't get around. The same guy who basically had the interception on the last set of downs for Kokomo. And that's Trayshawn Hurd, number 5. Jerron Gray could not run him on the left flank of that McCutcheon defense.
Tell you what, he's a speedster with the basketball, and he's a speedster on this football field. I think this is, if I read correctly, this is his first year playing. He did not play last year,
football,
so I think,
really?
I think this is Trayshawn's first year playing football.
Awesome. Still 6 yards on the carry for Gray. This time it goes to Bo Baker, and he gets a hold of that ball, and he gets across the 20-yard line. That's going to be a first down for Kokomo right there. So Kokomo has no real trouble. They're not going to the house every time they carry the ball, but this is the kind of offense that Coach Colby would like, is two things happen. You're moving the football, and you're burning clock. In a game like this, you want to have the football. You don't want to give it to Lafayette. That's for sure.
I think he was just trying to establish the pass early to make sure that he kept McCutcheon pretty honest on defense. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out, but Kokomo just marching the ball with the feet.
Baker again this time, but he's caught up in the backfield as the blocking breaks down on the left side of Kokomo's offensive line, as unfortunately Kasem and Gear didn't hold their blocks, and that's a 1-yard loss for Bo Baker on that play. It's going to bring up second down and 11 for Kokomo coming up. 5:21 to go here in the first quarter. Our first quarter presented by KT Sports here in Fast Play Sports. Coverage of Kokomo High School football here tonight. From under center, Kokomo's Kyle Wade is going to use a counter play that puts Jerron Gray on his back in the backfield. 2 consecutive losses of yardage for Kokomo. We haven't seen that all season.
We have not. And that's one thing that Coach Colby was really worried about discussing in the pregame. He said, I think this defense is going to get over-aggressive on me. We got to keep them honest somehow. I've been talking about it, I know, but right now Kokomo's got to come up with something else. Maybe spread the ball out. We'll see him do that. I know Coach Colby said they worked on that a lot this week, put in some new plays in that spread offense. So we'll see what Kokomo does.
Yeah, number 61 right there, Devin Snyder for McCutcheon, 5'10", 230 pounds. Number 93, Brad Myers. He's 5'9", 240. The nose guard, number 76, James Hopkins, is 6'3", 295. He's a tough one to move on.
Big boy.
That line. And the other end is number 95, C.J. Yagi. He's 5'10", and 195. Kokomo calls a timeout. Coach Colby wants to talk to his offense here as they have a 3rd and long. That's 3rd and 13. The longest down in distance Kokomo's faced in quite some time, actually, when you look at the last 2 weeks of play. It's been a lot better than this throughout the last couple of weeks. We'll take a quick commercial break while we have the timeout here, so we'll be back after these words here in Fast Play Sports. We are Fast Play.
Oh, they're on the...
The plane is ours.
Is there anyone who wants to dance?
Bye, Johnny Well-Done.
You were right. I can watch my DVR shows anywhere.
Take your DVR shows anywhere. The X1 Entertainment Operating System, only from Xfinity.
Well, sorry we took that commercial timeout. We missed the 3rd down play from Kokomo. It was a pass play. It was complete as Kean Washington, number 2 for Kokomo, caught the ball, but he just advanced just past the 20-yard line. Not enough for the first down, so Kokomo is punting here on 4th down and yielding yet another possession without a score to McCutcheon. And this defense has got to prove that they can stop that McCutcheon offense coming up. So we are looking at confusion on the field right now, as it looks like Marcel Kenner is supposed to be out there on the field and is not. Clock continues to run, and now a penalty delay of game is assessed against the Kokomo Wildcats as they had some special teams confusion there.
Yeah, and this next drive is going to be pretty big for Kokomo. I think, for one, you're asking for a large punt. And for 2, you're asking for a huge defensive stop, because I got the feeling if Kokomo doesn't get this defensive stop next drive, McCutcheon's going to start pouring it on.
Punt's not too bad, out to about the 50-yard line. Takes a nice bounce, and McCutcheon gets away from it. Kokomo's going to down it at the 42-yard line, and that's where McCutcheon's going to take over. They have had 2 big 50-plus touchdown runs in this game from their conference-leading running back, number 38, Blake Elming. And he has, I haven't seen the stat yet, we'll see it here at the end of the quarter, but it's probably 4 or 5 carries for 120, I think is what he's probably at.
Yeah.
McCutcheon comes to the ball. Pardon me. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Here we go. Hand off to Elming, and he punches his way for about a 6-yard gain on first down.
If you just look at the point of attack right now at McCutcheon, the hole that Elming is running to, they're 4 yards down the field before Elming even gets the handoff. So Kokomo's got to do something up front. Right now, they're getting dominated.
And granted, I mean, these are high school student athletes. I mean, when you change your defensive scheme going into a game like this and you say, we're going to run a contain-style defense, these student athletes are trying to figure out how to do that against this team. And there's obviously some adjustments that need to be made in their minds in order to find the ball carrier quicker. Elming gets the ball again. He crosses the first down marker, so he'll get that first down for McCutcheon, and at least we're containing him on 2 consecutive runs right there.
Yeah, it's the first time that I think he's had consecutive runs without scoring. So
yeah, really.
Yeah, this is a big drive for Kokomo, though. They got to step up, got to get a tackle for loss or something right here. Need to force a punt, something.
There's your quarterback, Aaron Phillips. Really haven't showcased him. He's been handing the ball off so far in this game, but he's got a nice set of legs under him. And, Cole Gerard, the fullback, number 45, handles the ball, but what an excellent tackle from Kokomo's Brevin Beard. Yep. He came in and just leveled that fullback after about a 4-yard gain.
That's a 28th tackle for Brevin Beard on the season. He leads this Kokomo Wildcat defense in tackles. I think he's got like 23 solo tackles, so he definitely carries his own weight on this Kokomo D.
We'll call it 2nd and 7 for the Mavericks. Stay in the I formation, and there's Elming that time, and at least Kokomo is able to contain him again. Looked like Jack Perkins was the first one to get a hold of him and begin the process of getting him to the ground, and that's going to bring up their first third down play in this game. McCutcheon hasn't gotten to third down yet, so this is the biggest defensive play of the game for the Kokomo Wildcats right now.
Yeah, by far, so far, this is the biggest play. This is where you win the battle up front, and you send this statement, see if you can really hold your own against this McCutcheon line. It's time for Kokomo's D-line to step up.
3rd and 2. Right up the middle with the fullback. Looks like he's got enough for that first down. His spot is right on the first down marker, and if they're not sure, they may bring the chains out, but nope, they think it's a first down, so the chains are moving. First down for McCutcheon.
That's pretty close.
It was close, but they didn't want to take the time to measure, so this is a first down play from the 38-yard line. They're in Kokomo territory.
And Kokomo's showing some improvement right now, really, on defense. Nothing to hang your head about so far, but just stop the score, and I think you
Phillips going to pass for the first time here. He's going long. He's got him wide open, and the tackle brings him down. It was Beard on the tackle, but credit the catch in a nice pitch and catch right there between you got the quarterback, Aaron Phillips, hooking up with Dakota Lovelace, number 30, the wide out to the left side for McCutcheon.
Right there, McCutcheon keeping Kokomo off. Kokomo's defense is honest. They're over-pursuing, sending way too much pressure right there. An easy completion for McCutcheon's quarterback.
Red zone offense now for McCutcheon. They're at the 15-yard line. And, Elming gets outside, but the Kokomo defense finally puts him on his back at about the 11-yard line. So a 3-yard gain for Elming that time. McCutcheon gets into their huddle. Looks like they're going to make some adjustments here as they get the clock runs out here at the end of the first, basically. So there you go. They'll be switching ends now here at Walter Cross Field as the first quarter comes to a close. And it's been all McCutcheon in a way. Kokomo has had a turnover and a punt. And this is the third possession for McCutcheon when we come back here to start the second quarter. Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo High School football is presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We are Fast Play.
The plane is ours.
Is there anyone who wants to dance?
I jolly well do.
You were right. I can watch my DVR shows anywhere.
Take your DVR shows anywhere. the X1 Entertainment Operating System, only from Xfinity.
Hi, this is Raleigh Fingers, and you're watching Fast Play Sports Network.
Welcome back to Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo McCutcheon here on this Friday night, 12th of September. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott. McCutcheon is second down and 6 to go. They've got enough room in this red zone action right now for one more first down if they get past, get it to about the 5 and then get a first down. We'll get the stats to you here in a moment to see how that first half looked for McCutcheon. He's had a lot of rushing yards for that team. From under center, here goes Phillips. He's going to hand off and up the middle to their money man, Blake Elming again. Doesn't get the first down on the play, but he gets it to within about 2 yards of the first down. 3rd and 2 coming up. Kokomo, if they want to make a statement, really need to make a stand. Of course, they're up against probably the best place kicker in the conference as well, as Chase Pedigo is pretty good field goal kicker. I think he's hit on all of his extra points so far this year. Pass play into the flat, touchdown. Just like that.
Pass complete number 82 makes the touchdown.
It's Aaron Phillips right there hitting a wide open receiver. If we see the replay here, he had multiple guys open. He could have went to the big tight end 87, Grant Dempster, but he went the other way to the receiver, but multiple people open on that.
Yeah, Mason Schutz, a 5'10 junior, 160-pound junior. He was wide open and an excellent connection from quarterback Phillips. And here's that extra point try. Chase Pedigo is up and good. So now a 21-7 lead for McCutcheon. And Kokomo has yielded those 2 turnovers, really one on downs and one is the interception that Kyle Wade threw. And Kokomo has to regroup on offense here because they looked good in that first series. They marched down with the opening series of the game and scored the first touchdown. And since then, it's been all McCutcheon. And pretty much other than that touchdown pass we just saw, the rest of it was all on the ground.
Yeah, and then they spread the ball out that last play on the 3rd down, try to convert. So I expect Coach Colby to go with a hybrid offense here, giving them multiple looks, try to keep this defense off balance. But Kokomo definitely has to go with something else. I think we're going to see the spread this drive just a little bit.
We'll wait and see. But you mentioned Blake Elming for McCutcheon in the first half. 7 carries for 150 yards.
Yeah, in the first quarter, not even the first half.
Yeah.
You say first half, but yeah, he has 8 carries. I think he gained 3 on that last carry. So 8 carries, 153 yards. That is absolute efficiency right there.
Getting ready to kick off for the 3rd time. Actually, this is actually the 4th kickoff then for McCutcheon here in the first half. This one's going to go up a ways, and it'll be nice as Washington gets that thing. He gets tackled pretty hard on the play by number 54, Parker Caldwell for McCutcheon. Puts the stop on that. And Kokomo's going to start out offense here at the 36-yard line, their own territory, and this is a key drive in this game for Kokomo.
And it really is. There's a sense of urgency to really put some points on the board right now. You're not out of this game yet so far. If you remember, Kokomo's going to get the ball at half, so try to march down the field, chew up as much clock as possible, and put 7 points on the board, and I think you're going to be fine.
Jerron Gray gets up into the middle, and I tell you, there's just not been a whole lot of running room on that right side of Kokomo's offense so far in this game. They've had more luck with Bo Baker to the left side. Jerron's had it a little tough going to the right tonight.
Yeah, and Kokomo's been getting on the edge pretty well. I'm surprised we haven't seen more rockets to the open side of the field to Bo Baker, like you said. I think we might see something like that here.
The ball on the right hash mark of the field right now, so we'll see if Kokomo's going to extend themselves to the left side of the field. Bo Baker cuts it to the right, though, and stays on the right side. He's going to be just short of the first down. Baker with a nice carry on that play. Runs away from the defensive thrust and is going to be a little short of that first down, so it's going to be 3rd and short coming up for Kokomo.
And that's something we saw Baker do pretty well last week, is recognizing those cutback lanes. Defense is over-pursuing hard. Baker realizes that. Great vision from the tailback right there, picking up that. Let's see if Kokomo can get this first down.
Pitch it out to Baker, goes to the left side. There's a little more running room there, but the forward progress is definitely enough for the first down, so Kokomo will move the chains on 3rd down and keep this drive alive. This is a big one for the Cats up against McCutcheon, who has scored on all 3 of their possessions in the first quarter, finishing off that last drive at the beginning of the second quarter here. But Kokomo, if they're going to keep up, they got to do it right now. They got to score a touchdown.
I tell you, every play, your goal is 3 yards. If you get 3 yards every play, even if you have to go for it on 4th, you're going to get a first down. But that's the goal for Kokomo right now, chewing up a good 2 minutes already, so see if it can continue.
Holloman, the fullback, loses his blocker in front of him as he falls to the ground, and that front line pursuit from McCutcheon drives a loss on that play. Maybe give them forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, and they do, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up for Kokomo.
And you just wonder what Kokomo's going to go with here after, when you're facing 2nd and 10, 2nd and long with Kokomo's offense, you're really stressing to get a first down, and I don't know with the way that things have been going, Kokomo can do it.
Well, getting any one of those 2 speedsters out into the open is just as effective. There's Jerron Gray dancing around, gets a couple of yards on forward progress, but it just doesn't take long for that pursuit of the McCutcheon defense to do its job, and we've seen some great plays. You'll see Trayshawn Hurd, number 5, from McCutcheon, right in there on the tackle, joined by Lucas Robinson, number 12, and one of the linebackers on the play. And then number 54 comes in with Parker Caldwell. They are ball hawks. They're getting right to the ball carrier.
Yeah, gang tackling, that's the name of the game.
Big 3rd down and 8 for Kokomo. Back to pass is Wade. He's looking. He's going to go long this time, and he's got the potential of getting Baker in stride, but the ball is just out of his reach, and it's incomplete. And it looks like Kokomo is going to elect a punt coming up, but that had the makings of a big game for Kokomo. Nice pass by Kyle Wade, the freshman quarterback, as he puts the ball up and just about gets to Bo Baker.
See Kokomo attacking the straight of the defense right there, forcing the safety to choose. Right there, a good pass by Kyle Wade. Hey, if it hits your hands, I think you got to catch it. Bo Baker just unfortunately not able to come up with it.
Jordan Rawlings will punt the ball for Kokomo here on this 4th and 8. Boy, pressure right there. Gets the ball off. Fair catch was called by Blake Elming, and that's where the Mavericks are going to take over right at the 20-yard line as they are ready to start their 4th possession. And again, they have scored on every possession, touchdowns every time, as the score is 21-7 on our CFD investment scoreboard for McCutcheon ahead of Kokomo here in the second quarter. 8:25 to go. And again, Kokomo's defense is about to be tested. New quarterback in the game, too. We'll mention that here in a moment. Nice pursuit by the Kokomo defense, and that's going to be a loss unless they give him some forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. But the Mavericks going with their backup quarterback right now, Hayden Deaton, number 10 in the game. Not sure what's happened to Aaron Phillips, but in his last series in the game, he threw a touchdown pass. So I'm looking for him on the sideline, and I don't see him. Well, he's just on the sideline by the coach, so they're just giving this second quarterback a chance to call some plays here. Hayden Deaton, quarterback for the Mavericks in this series. And he's coming back to pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked for a loss. Awesome job by Brevin Beard, number 21 of Kokomo, chases down the quarterback for a loss on the play.
Tell you what, Brevin Beard acting as the anchor for this Kokomo defense. He's flying all over the place. Anytime you see a gang tackle involved on Kokomo's side, Brevin Beard, number 21, is bound to be involved. Right now, just flying all over the place, able to make a huge stop in the backfield for Kokomo. And right now, Kokomo needs to make a stop on this 3rd down.
Deaton is still the quarterback for McCutcheon. This is The biggest down and distance they've had to cover in this game, a 3rd and 14 right now for the Mavericks. And time is called as it's a timeout for the Mavericks. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back here. Second quarter of play. Kokomo McCutcheon. They lead 21-7 in our CFD investment scoreboard. We are Fast Play.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Button.
Choose from a selection of over 500 brand new Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, and Rams. Let our experienced team help find the perfect vehicle for you. And every purchase is backed with amazing Button customer service. Get behind the wheel of the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200, designed and engineered to outperform the best vehicles in the industry. Button, on the corner of Clayton Boulevard, or on the web at buttondodge.com. Imported from Detroit. Sold at Button.
Fast Play Sports coverage at Kokomo High School, playing McCutcheon here tonight, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. I'm Alan James, along with Devin Schott. The big third down play for McCutcheon right now as they lead 21-7 here in the second quarter with 7:03 left to go in this first half. New quarterback in the game is Deaton. He's going to pass on this play. He's looking downfield. He's looking long, and that's going to be overthrown, incomplete, and that will bring up fourth down. The Kokomo defense makes a stand.
Yeah, a great job by Kokomo's D right there. You wonder maybe it's the second-string quarterback in or not. So I think McCutcheon's probably going to put the starter back in.
I don't know.
Phillips.
You look at Phillips. He's a junior. Deaton's a sophomore. You look at these two quarterbacks. So obviously McCutcheon working on developing an offense with a couple of different quarterbacks here, and I don't think it had anything to do with the quarterback. I think Kokomo did have a better job of pursuing to the ball that time, and they did have 2 pass plays in that series, and they just didn't work out because of pressure, and they just weren't able to connect.
Tell you what, if there's one time for Jordan Rollins to step up, it's right now. Could do some damage.
That snap was a little high. That could have been dangerous for McCutcheon.
Good Kokomo bounce.
Exactly, and that's going to set up the ball in McCutcheon territory for the Kokomo Wildcats as they're going to set up on the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 with 6:46 to go in this first half, and they're down 21-7. And you see how that high snap, the punter right there, he had his work cut out for him right there. And Drakus Eddington, the name of the punter for McCutcheon, but he had a nice punt in the deal. Just took a Kokomo bounce and stayed on their side of the football field. The Cats come out of the huddle with a snap. They are raring to go as they spread that offense out on this first down play. Wade from the shotgun. It's a pass play. He's going out there, just kind of sees a lot of white jerseys, and I think he threw that ball away. I think he didn't see anybody open. Penalty flag on the play as well. And we'll wait and see just what they're talking about. And it may be a procedure penalty against Kokomo. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that formation or whatever, but, they decline the penalty and go right to 2nd and 10. Not a lot of confidence then in the Kokomo offense if McCutcheon is not willing to back them up at all.
Kokomo stays in the spread here.
Kokomo in passing formation here on 2nd down. Quick out, incomplete. He attempted to get that pass out there to Brevin Beard, but he was covered first. And second, he wasn't able to really get the ball, so that'll just bring up a 3rd and 10. Kokomo working the passing game to try and get something moving. They had such a very efficient running game in that first series in the first quarter. But that play had no chance of making a difference anyway, so it was almost best that it was a drop pass as it didn't go backwards for this Kokomo offense. They've got a 3rd and 10 to face. Looking like a pass play again. Trips to the left for the Kokomo offense. Got to cover the line. Looking good on the right side. Wade in the shotgun. Got to make something happen here on 3rd down. Plenty of time. He's going to go long this time. Will he get there? It's caught. Touchdown. What a pass. He dropped it in the end zone, but that crossed the goal line, and that was an awesome catch and just a great play for Kokomo.
Yeah, and you said it was a great catch. I want to key on the throw right there by Kyle Wade. Hit him in stride. That's a big league throw by Kyle Wade, the freshman. You got to remember, freshman I mean, he just went 40 yards all the way to the end zone. What a phenomenal pass by Mr. Kyle Wade.
We'll see the replay here in a moment. I'm sure they're all cheering and all around the stadium here as we see the end of him getting across the goal line for the touchdown. But that's Jordan Matthews, who really showed some speed to get under that long bomb from Kyle Wade for that touchdown. And
see there on the replay, all that needs to cross the end zone right there is the ball. As soon as it crosses, it is a touchdown. So nice job by the referee of recognizing that, calling the correct call.
Well, the extra point is good for Kokomo, and now it's 21-14 on our CFD investment scoreboard. And I'll tell you, if we can get the full look at that play in the button dodge replay, that's going to be something to watch. If we can get the look that Kyle Wade had. I mean, yeah, I like with him wearing number 7, I just think he looks so much like John Elway. I mean, I really do.
Well, I'll tell you, he looked real good right there. His pocket presence was absolutely phenomenal. He sensed the pressure, stepped up in the pocket, and delivered an absolute dime to one of his receivers. Thoroughly impressed right now with the freshman.
Yeah, and those kind of plays in games like this build the poise of a quarterback that's going to do wonders in each season that follows his freshman season. So he's doing this as a freshman. What's he going to accomplish down the road?
Yeah.
So we still have 6:28 to go here in this second quarter of play. And, of course, our second quarter sponsor of our game is Kokomo Center Schools. Nice to have them supporting our webcast here at Fast Play Sports as Kokomo kicks off to McCutcheon. Kick doesn't go very deep. Avoid the speedsters of that McCutcheon special teams, and Kokomo is a tough opponent as the ball comes out to the 36-yard line. That's where McCutcheon will set up, and they were stopped for the first time in the last series against the Kokomo defense. And if Kokomo wants to get back in this game, they've got to have a 3-and-out against this McCutcheon offense coming up.
It was a great hit by freshman Noah Herlock right there on the kick. Came in, saw a nice little lick.
McCutcheon goes back to quarterback, junior Aaron Phillips on this series. So number 8's going to run, and he's been so successful in this game so far. So McCutcheon goes back to what's worked for them, and they hand right off to their speedster, Blake Elming, and he's going to get about 4 yards on that first down carry. Get it past to the 41-yard line.
Another stop for Kokomo here would be huge, but for the most part, you just want to make sure that you do not allow a score at any cost. You're going to get the ball back at half. Only 5 minutes left.
They'll be giving up the ball. They started on offense in the first, so they'll give it back to McCutcheon.
Kokomo didn't kick. Kokomo kicked?
No, they received.
I thought Kokomo kicked.
No. So Elming battles his way for another 4 yards, and he's going to be 2 short of that first down. So that's going to bring 3rd and 2 coming up for McCutcheon. 5:36 on the clock. They lead 21-14. Kokomo gets decent penetration right there. You can see that Kean Washington gets back there, but he goes for a ride on the back of Elming, so he gets a few yards on that carry. They get the penetration. He falls down. This is going to be real close, folks. All about the spot right now where Elming fell down as he was running backwards, and I think he's going to be short of the first down. He's just about a yard short, so it's a 4th and short in McCutcheon territory. So if Kokomo can make a stop right here, look in the button dodge replay, Elming gets the handoff. Good penetration from Kokomo, but they can't quite get to him. Line stiffens. He falls down short of the first down. McCutcheon calls a timeout. So we'll be back with the drama of this 4th down conversion coming up as you're watching Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo McCutcheon here on this Friday night, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We are Fast Play.
Welding students from the Kokomo Area Career Center helped create a new look for Walter Cross Field.
They actually designed, built, and finished all the benches and screens and lattice work.
Hardest part of the project, the benches, personally, which probably would have been the overhead welds I had to do when I was welding underneath the bench.
It kind of makes me happy. I mean, to see that it's out somewhere so people can see it.
Back we are, Fast Play Sports coverage of this Kokomo McCutcheon game here tonight. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott. 4th And just about a yard for McCutcheon here. This is a big play for the Kokomo defense. If they can make a stop here, they got a chance to tie. And it's stiff in the line. It's all about the spot, and a lot of people are saying no on the first down. And if I'm looking at the referee on the side of the sticks, he should be short. Of course, this is not the NFL. You don't have all the replay opportunities, and they may bring out the sticks. Looks like they're calling time. They're going to bring out the sticks for a measurement. This is really close. And, boy, my bird's eye view from the press box here, I think that McCutcheon is short, and I think Kokomo gets the ball.
For me, it looks like Kokomo had the stop. It looks like McCutcheon's going to be about a little more than a foot short of this first down. But from my view up here from the play, it looked like he was a good yard short.
Phil Cox from Kokomo is holding the stick that makes the decision. They're going to stretch it out here, and it is about an inch short. Kokomo's ball. What a turn of events in this first half. Kokomo has a chance now to drive and tie the ball game after McCutcheon had a chance to almost get to the point where they could run away with this thing.
Yeah, you got to credit the defense right there. Able to get in the backfield, stop the QB sneak from going more than a yard and a half. Phenomenal play from Kokomo's defense. And right now, I think Kokomo's offense has to have an extra burst of energy right now. I think they're ready to get one in the end zone.
Some excellent ball hawks on that defense for that play. First down for Kokomo. They're in McCutcheon territory here, and they're going to pitch it out to Bo Baker, left side. The blocking's there. Oh, it closes quickly, though. Give McCutcheon credit on defense. Their linebackers really stepped up. Robinson, Caldwell, Williams, and Moffitt. Boy, they got to Bo Baker after about maybe a 1 yard gain on that play. It looked good for a moment. Kokomo's blocking looked good, but then it closed quick.
Well, it looked like Bo Baker might have been able to cut the ball back inside. Kokomo's blocking, not able to seal the edge right there. McCutcheon doing a great job of getting to the edge, establishing it. Baker not able to go anywhere.
Ball on the left hash mark of Watercross Field, 2nd and 9. This time it's going to be Jerron Gray. He's looking for a place to run. He's got Baker out in front of him, and he's going to gain, looks like about maybe 6 yards on that carry. Not bad. It'll probably set up a 3rd and 4 coming up for Kokomo, but really the only blocking out in front of Jerron Gray was Bo Baker that time. Look at the replay here. You'll see how things set up, and there's Bo Baker sustaining a block on number 28.
That is a great block.
Collects the number 5.
Getting your butt to the outside. That's a nice block by Bo Baker.
5 on 2 and a 6 yard gain for Kokomo. This time it's a reverse. Baker's out to the left side. He's got some running room, but again, those linebackers for McCutcheon come up quick, and Baker's going to be short of the first down on that play, but give a lot of credit to that threesome of the linebackers for McCutcheon, Robinson, Caldwell, and Williams again. Well, they are really keeping an eye on. Look at the replay here. We got an injury on the play, too. McCutcheon's number 25. The starting strong safety for McCutcheon's injured on the play, John.
That's the man that made the tackle.
Yeah, he made the tackle, and looks like the pursuit kind of rolled up on him, so he went limping off the field. He's being assisted to the bench now, but that'll take one of the starters out of that defense for McCutcheon right now. So Kokomo's going for it on 4th and a long 2. Pitch it out to Jerron Gray. They've got a chance. Blockers out there. Oh, gosh, it's going to be close. I don't know if he got across. It looks like the referees don't see it right away, and they're calling for the Mavericks offense to get out there.
Yeah, a little disappointing right there from Kokomo. I figured they might have punched it inside with Holloman. That's just 2 yards you got to go. But Kokomo's offensive line has to come out with more energy next drive. They're really not doing much.
Credit on that Mavericks defense to number 40, Cole Williams. That's one of the great linebackers we've been talking about. They've had such a great game against Kokomo tonight. And, boy, just coming from his spot from the outside linebacker position, he had a lane on Jerron Gray, and he wasn't about to give up that first down, and he didn't. 1st and 10. Mavericks with the ball, open field running. This is going to be a touchdown for McCutcheon. Another 50-plus yard touchdown run for Blake Elming.
60-plus yards for Blake Elming. That's going to put him over 200 yards, Allen, before the end of the first half. So gives you a little view of how quick this kid is, but phenomenal. He's got to be leading the state in rushing in one half a play this year right now.
Yeah, just no pursuit to the ball for Kokomo. They were well blocked on the play, and untouched to the goal line for the third time in this game. Blake Elming has had a doozy against Kokomo here this week.
Hey, well, for a starting offensive player, that 38 jersey is pretty white.
Yeah, it's white, and it is creating a lot of black ink on the scoring and statistician paper, as he has done a 2-3 game workload here in one half against the Kokomo Wildcats. 2:48 to go here in this first half, and it's a 28-14 lead for McCutcheon on Kokomo here on our CFD Investment Scoreboard. It's those just moments when in a football game you have the opportunity to even things up. It just changes the whole complexion of the game, and then you go back to that moment and say, that's the drive, that's the play that if we would have had that play, that last running play for Kokomo, if they would have got that, the outcome of this game would be very different, but this is what it is. 28-14 lead for McCutcheon here in the first half.
I think Kokomo's lucky to be where they're at right now. They could easily be down 28-7 right now, but Kokomo, I hate to say they need a score with only 2 minutes and 48 seconds left to play, but Alan, they need a score. I mean, they have to score. The way this McCutcheon offense is having their way with Kokomo, Kokomo's got to put points on the board.
Got to go with the kick. Oh, dropped on the ground. Better get on it. Oh, my gosh. Some running room right here. So what's going to happen now? The blocking is out in front of Kokomo, but decent field position is what we're going to call it. Not too bad, really, as number 31 for Kokomo. As we get, I'm looking at the wrong roster here. That's Keenan Wheeler, who got the kick return for Kokomo, and Keenan had a chance. If he had a little more speed, I think he could have got around that flank and maybe gone for the touchdown. Would have been Beard or one of the other players, Rollins, who had the ball. Maybe they could have ran that back. But first and 10 for Kokomo at the 48-yard line, Kokomo territory. 2:38 to go here in the first half.
Kokomo missing Brevin Beard, putting his helmet on. He's getting ready to go out there. 7 seconds left to snap.
And I don't know if they have a timeout left, do they?
He's got to get set.
Shotgun.
And they got it.
There's a rush there. Come right out to Rollins, who gets.
That's a late hit.
Yeah, he slips. Yeah, he was technically down, but they're not going to call a penalty. It doesn't look like on McCutcheon's number 18 in the game is Cole Taylor. And of course, we saw the injury earlier to number 25, John Bonaguro. So his replacement is Cole Taylor, number 18, and he's in to help make the stop on that first down play for Kokomo.
And Kokomo not doing a lot with these short passes. They're trying a lot of short action kind of stuff. I say you attack the middle of the field deep again, see what you can do.
Looks like a passing play for Kokomo. Nope, it's a pitch out to.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't go for too many yards, but Jerron Gray gets that carry as it was a back. Would you call that a draw play?
I'd call that a power play because Kyle Wade's actually leading the hole right there. How many quarterbacks do you see doing that? Pitching the ball and getting up in the hole. Nice job by Kyle Wade.
He likes to play football, that's for sure. Clock rolling at 1:30 to go here in this first half, and Kokomo down by 2 touchdowns. All 3 of the, let's see, we're actually up to 4 now. Almost all 3 of the 4 scores for the Mavericks have come on big runs from Blake Elming. And Kokomo tries that same play again, short yardage situation, and it is short of the first down, and it's going to be 4th for Kokomo with a minute to go. And, boy, I think one of the things we haven't seen since that first series for Kokomo is fullback Holloman running the ball. He was pretty successful up the middle. And we go back to shotgun once again on this 4th down play. Clock rolling at about 40 seconds. He's going to, whistle blows the ball dead.
False start.
Is it a false start?
That's what the referee on the far side of the field signaling.
Going to be against Kokomo, so that's going to change this whole thing. So it looks like Coach Colby is going to go to a punt formation now and try to get to the locker room down by 2 touchdowns here in the first half. Tough game of chess right here in a football game on a Friday night.
Well, Kokomo should be pretty worried about themselves defensively because Blake Elming only needs about 1 second to put 6 points on the board.
He's got the ball now as he receives the punt, and he's got some running room, but Kokomo closes in on him at about the 29, just close to the 30-yard line. 25 seconds to go in this first half, and with Elming in the game, yes, they've got 2-3 chances. There's a penalty flag on the field once again, and that's deep in the backfield for the receiving team, and it's going to be some illegal use of hands, it looks like, against the Mavericks, and that's going to march the ball back even further. But with, again, Elming in the game, he could run 80 yards. Doesn't matter. If he gets out in the open, he'll run the distance, and you got to be very, very careful of the Kokomo defense right now because being down by 3 scores going into the locker room, totally different than 2 scores.
Especially kicking the ball back off to McCutcheon to start the third quarter.
Yeah, and looks like they're just going to let the clock run to end the first half of play. And we were expecting a lot of offense, and we've seen it as the 2 leading rushing teams in the NCC face off tonight. Give the advantage in the first half, not only in yardage, but in scores to McCutcheon. We'll be getting ready for our UAW 1166 halftime show coming up here as we're live from Walter Cross Field. Kokomo McCutcheon tonight, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We are Fast Play.
The Jeep. The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Button.
Choose from a selection of over 500 brand new Dodges, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. Let our experienced team help find the perfect vehicle for you. And every purchase is backed with amazing Button customer service. Get behind the wheel of the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200, designed and engineered to outperform the best vehicles in the industry. Button, on the corner of Clayton Boulevard, or on the web at buttondodge.com. Imported from Detroit.
Built in Kokomo!
Sold at Button.
Welding students from the Kokomo Area Career Center helped create a new look for Walter Cross Field.
They actually designed, built, and finished all the benches and screens and lattice work.
Hardest part of the project, the benches, personally, which probably would have been the overhead welds I had to do when I was welding underneath the bench.
Kind of makes me happy. I mean, to see that it's out somewhere so people can see it.
This is Devin Schott with FastPlaySports. I'm here with
Master Creations Jewelry is your best option for buying jewelry. Master Creations Jewelry sells for half the price of most jewelers. Locally owned, Master Creations makes custom jewelry made for you. Are you also in need of cash? Master Creations buys gold, silver, and your old jewelry. Get the best value from people you can trust. Work with a jeweler that makes jewelry affordable. Master Creation Jewelers on Markland Avenue and Cooper Street, Kokomo.
Welcome to our UAW 1166 halftime show. Here as we are watching and recapping what happened in the first half between the Kokomo Wildcats and the McCutcheon Mavericks, and what we thought was certainly a dangerous situation here with the leading rusher in the NCC going at it against Kokomo tonight. Blake Elming has not disappointed. He's had one heck of a first half against the Cats.
Yeah, he's having a career day so far. It'll be interesting to see if they pull him, if they get up big enough. But, I mean, I think you keep going to this kid, let him see if he can rack up 400-plus yards by the time the day's over.
Elming finishes the first half, 13 carries, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns, an average of 17.4 yards per carry. That ain't bad.
I'll tell you what, if the fourth quarter just ended and I was handed the stat sheet, I'd say, man, what a game by Blake Elming.
And you know what's really unbelievable in a way is what Kokomo has had here in the first half. And you can tell just by the statistics where Kokomo is struggling here tonight. Leading rusher is the fullback, Jordan Holloman, 4 carries for 55 yards. Bo Baker, 10 carries, 45. Jerron Gray, the leading rusher for Kokomo, held 10 carries and 34 yards. That McCutcheon defense is keying on net number 1, and they've held him to his most unflattering set of statistics he's had all season.
Yeah, and it really starts up front with McCutcheon's offensive line. They are just dominating Kokomo from the snap. They're getting in the backfield every play. They're back there. But when Kokomo spreads it out, it seems to be that they can move the ball down the field. They're just running a lot of short pass situation kind of stuff. I think we're going to see Kokomo come out in the second half, spread the ball out, and I think they're going to attack the middle deep part of the defense by McCutcheon because it seemed to work really well early.
Our UAW 1166 halftime show here is we look at the quarterbacks in this game. McCutcheon actually played 2 quarterbacks at different times. They were mostly Aaron Phillips, the junior quarterback who wears number 8. Actually had a fairly productive first half, 2 for 2, including a touchdown, and his long pass was 23 yards. But you look at Kokomo's freshman quarterback, Kyle Wade. He was 3 for 7, did have the interception, which really kind of turned the ball game a little bit. But he had that 52-yard touchdown pass, or actually it was a 46-yard touchdown pass to Matthews, which really put Kokomo within a touchdown at that point in the game. At that point, it was 21-14. Kokomo made a stand on defense on McCutcheon's next series, but they couldn't do anything with it. And then after a couple of stands and a chance for Kokomo to tie the ball game in the first half, they ended up giving up that 3rd touchdown to Elming, and that's where we get the score here at 28-14 in our CFD investment scoreboard. So it's kind of the tail of the tape of the first half.
Yeah, that's the biggest test for Kokomo coming out in the second half is their defense and how well they can maintain, containing Nate Elming, or Blake Elming specifically. Mm-hmm. But, I think if you give Kokomo their offense some opportunities, I think they can, kind of work with it. We've seen the the touchdown from Kyle Wade earlier, and I think it also starts with Kokomo's defense. They got to step up. They got to force some 3 and outs, and it has to start immediately from the time they kick the ball off, start the third quarter.
You're watching the Kokomo High School Marching Band here at halftime of our UAW 1166 halftime show. We'll play a quick commercial break and come right out of that to a wonderful production piece that was filmed by R.L. Moth Production as they use a drone to fly around this field and see the beautiful construction. If you missed it last week in our telecast, you'll get to see it coming up here on our UAW 1166 halftime show. More to come. We are Fast Play.
KT Sports will give you the latest in local sports scores, news, and features right where you want them, in the Kokomo Tribune and at kokomotribune.com. KT Sports will bring you last night's touchdown passes, smashes and saves, and a preview of what you can expect at the latest tennis match and cross-country finish line. Your neighbor's kids, your son, your niece, your grandkids, KT Sports will bring their games right to your doorstep. Positively part of the game, KT Sports.
Men and women of UAW 1166 are committed to a great product and a great community. UAW 1166 represents the workers at the Kokomo casting plant. Proud to have helped Chrysler resume its role as a leader in the automotive industry. UAW 1166 encourages you to buy what we build locally. Buy Chrysler products. Strength and solidarity, more important than ever.
Hi, this is Devin Schott reporting from Coco's Wild Toss, one of the newest attractions here at the beautifully renovated Walter Cross Field. And that's how it's done.
Audio Jungle.
Still a great show of technology as we were able to produce these telecasts for you in high definition. And we got a correction to make, and I am totally in awe of what we've just seen on Walter Cross Field at halftime here. That was the Kokomo Middle School marching band that was performing. They did the national anthem, and they performed here at halftime. I mean, that had to be what we estimate about 80 kids in that program alone.
Yeah, great numbers.
That is incredible. It's awesome. I'm such a fan of marching band competition, and hats off to John Pinson, who's the band director for Kokomo, because you do inspire the arts at the middle school level when you're at the high school, and boy, they are doing so many wonderful things at Kokomo Center Schools, and that's incredible. Our halftime show, presented by UAW Local 1166, continues here as we recognize one of the great businesses that supports our telecast here at Fast Play Sports.
Yeah, I'd like to personally thank Bella's Pizzeria for providing us with the food before the game. Always like to come here to Walter Cross, fill up on some Bella's Pizzeria, a true New York-style eatery with 3 locations in Indy and 1 in the Kokomo at the Markland Mall. I tell you what, folks, if you're at the Markland Mall, you got to stop in for some of this pizza. It is authentic New York-style pizza, and I got to have it every time we do a game.
Pizza you got to fold. You got to fold it to eat it.
Or eat it with a fork.
You look just like somebody from New York when you're doing that. It's awesome.
Forget about it. Let's get some Bella's.
Well, we've got to set up the second half coming up here in our UAW 1166 halftime show, so we'll do that after these words. As we're at halftime here with Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo and McCutcheon tonight, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity, we are Fast Play.
Welcome to Creative Financial Center. Our financial advisors look forward to serving you in the financial planning process.
Creative Financial Center is the name of a building dedicated to providing individuals, families, businesses, and organizations with quality financial products and or services for the achievement of their goals and objectives through a network of associates committed to serving clients in a Christ-like manner by assisting them in the development of stewardship in their lives, believing that it profits a man nothing to gain the whole world and lose his soul.
We look forward to seeing you.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000 bucks. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Hi, this is Raleigh Fingers, and you're watching Fast Play Sports Network.
As we wrap up our halftime show presented by UAW Local 1166, the stats really tell the tale of the game. You've got 261 total yards offense for McCutcheon here in this first half. Kokomo with 181 total yards, and those backs tell the tale as well. McCutcheon's Blake Elming with 226 yards rushing in the first half, and Bo Baker and Jerron Gray for Kokomo held to just 79 combined in the first half. In order for Kokomo to get back in this game, they got to go back to their base. Their offense runs efficiently with those 3 backs, balancing their attack when you get the outside pursuit of, we got Marion. Is that the first time I've seen it? You're showing Marion on the graphic right there. Marion Kokomo. Yeah, I hope that's not that's the first time I've seen that.
I don't think.
I'm sorry about that, folks. We'll get that corrected here in just a moment. But when you talk about what has to happen, Kokomo's got to get back to what they know well, and that's blocking for Bo and Jerron. And then when the outside starts to get pursuit from the defense, you run Holloman up the middle. Those 3 have combined for 3 of the top 4 spots in rushing in the NCC. And Kokomo was doing that in the first drive, and they scored a touchdown, and then they got away from it after that. And to me, that's what Kokomo has to do. McCutcheon, they just have to hang on. They'll win this game. But
like you said, Kokomo's got to go back to their bread and butter. I think that is their bread and butter. But, Alan, if Kokomo kicks off to McCutcheon and they come with a quick score, they maybe chew up some clock, Kokomo's not going to have time really to run the ball, so they're going to have to air it out. I think they're going to spread it out just a little bit, and I think we can expect to see Kokomo going with an aerial assault in the second half.
All right. I'm Alan James along with Devin Schott. We'll be back for the second half of play here from Kokomo. It's Kokomo and McCutcheon tonight. Stay right here with us. We are Fast Play.
Plane is ours. Is there anyone who wants to dance?
I jolly well do.
You were right. I can watch my DVR shows anywhere.
Take your DVR shows anywhere. The X1 Entertainment Operating System, only from Xfinity.
We're ready to get started for the second half of play here from Walter Cross Field. Fast Play Sports coverage of high school football here on Friday night. Kokomo hosting McCutcheon from Lafayette. And the Mavericks have had some excellent offense here in the first half, obviously with the lead 28-14 over Kokomo in our CFD investment scoreboard. They're going to get the ball back. Mavericks will start on offense here in the second half, and that puts the pressure right back on that Kokomo defense here to get things started. And the adjustments made in the locker room, these will be seen, and they are critical to how this big conference game is going to finish here from Kokomo tonight.
Yeah, if anything, Kokomo, no matter what happens, they're going to learn a lot about themselves, and they're learning a lot about one of their sectional opponents. Could be considered the favorite. They're the only ranked opponent right now in that sectional. So, or maybe I think Westfield might be ranked. I haven't really checked the rankings. They might be up there.
I haven't seen Westfield's rankings, but you're right that between the Lafayette teams, Kokomo and Westfield in that Harrison sectional, when we get to that point in late October. Yeah, the thing of it is, though, the way Indiana high school football works, the regular season is just a seeding process, and when you get into the tournament, it could be anybody's game by then. So the two teams that face each other tonight in perfect football conditions, 60-degree temperature reading, no precipitation at all. You're looking at two teams that have an ideal playing surface tonight. Who knows what's going to happen? According to some of the weather forecasters, we may see snow in late October. So could we see something like that by the time we get to the sectional? I've seen it before. Referees for tonight's game, as you see the gentleman at the midfield mark, Brett Williamson, Denny Meadows, Danny Shields, Brian Turpin, and Ron Swindle calling the game. And they've had a few penalties in the first half that they've had to assess, but all in all, they've kept pretty clean and let the kids play tonight.
I tell you what, you can see the referee right there stretch, and I think his legs might be a little tired from chasing Blake Elming all day.
That's right.
It seems like those referees have been behind him, just trying to catch him down.
Yeah.
Let's
is he gonna need a little help getting back up there?
Let's get some scores from around the state, around the area. We got Rensselaer 7, Tipton 0. Peru leads Taylor 7-0 at halftime. Tri-Central 22, Clinton Prairie 0. Eastern Maconaquah scoreless at half. Northwestern leads Western 12-0 at half. And obviously right here we got a 28-14 McCutcheon lead.
Next week, Fast Play Sports will cover Northwestern and Taylor, and Northwestern coming back from their loss to Lewis Cass at Lucas Oil Stadium last weekend. And as you remember in our pregame interview with the coach at Northwestern, they had youth football showcased on the stadium at Lucas Oil as well. I mean, you talk about the whole program, and Northwestern got the benefit from their visit down there. And the same for Lewis Cass as well. But what a nice invitation as the Indianapolis Colts present the tournament coming up this fall of high school athletics. So it's nice to see the professional team in the state showing that kind of interest in high school level athletics in the game of football. So it's a touchback as the kick returner for McCutcheon, who wears number 27, Donnie Blount. I don't know. I guess I always forget the rule in high school when you step back like that.
Yeah, no matter what part, any part the ball or any foot slips back, it is automatically dead into the touchback. Right there, you saw Blount tried to catch the ball and then tiptoe, but one toe crossed the path of the plane of the end zone. That's an automatic touchback.
All right, first series in the second half belongs to McCutcheon, and they hand it off right there to Elming, and he's going to carry the pile for a decent gain on first down. It's still not whistle dead, and he might even have the first down at the end of that whole thing.
I'll tell you what, Elming's a little guy, but right there, contact was made with him about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and he carried that entire pile, another 6.
Yeah, Blake Elming, 5'7", 160 pounds. And he looked like a fullback on that play. So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks, and they've got the ball at their own 33-yard line now, 1st and 10, with the lead 28-14 on our CFD investment scoreboard. Our third quarter here of this ball game is presented by Master Creations Jewelry. Glad to have them here on a long pass connection and completion to number 87. Number 87 is in the game for McCutcheon, and that's Grant Dempster, wide open. Just enough room, I guess, for that perfect pass. We've seen some good ones from Aaron Phillips in this game for the Mavericks, and he had just connected for a big one right there.
And that's a big tight end. I told you that Coach Colby said he was a little worried about. That is a big body right there. I tell you what, he reminds me a lot of Josiah Price from Eastern. He's about the same size. And I tell you what, when that kid gets to college, he has 20 pounds of muscle. That's Big Ten size.
6'3", 225 on that tight end who just caught that pass for McCutcheon. He goes in motion on this play, and first down handoff. And there is Elming. He's going to score. And that's probably his shortest touchdown run in the game.
It's also his 4th score for the game.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to believe we're only a couple minutes deep into this third quarter, and he's got 4 scores.
Yeah.
My money's on him leading the state in scoring once
look at the blocking up
over.
front, though. Nice hole, and unfortunately, Jack Perkins for Kokomo diving for a tackle, got nothing but air right there, and Elming gets his 4th score here in the ball game.
We can't really credit Elming for all these yards. We have to credit the offensive line for McCutcheon for some of this too, because last year Nate Dino, Indiana All-Star, rushed for I think 1,800 yards on the season. So most of those kids that were blocking for him are here right now. So let's credit this offensive line. They're doing a great job tonight.
Offensive line for McCutcheon, you've got number 70, Russell Burning, 6'4", 290. He's a senior. Left guard is number 50, Ted Llewellyn, 5'10", 230. He's a junior. Center is number 72, Colin Post, 5'11", 280. Right guard is 73, Tanner Flynn, 5'11", 230. He's a senior. Right tackle, 79, Nick Cox, 6'1", 275. He's a senior. So those guys have grown up in this McCutcheon program, and they've made it the ranked team that they are going into this contest tonight, and they're showing their muscle against the Kokomo Wildcats tonight. So, another kickoff for McCutcheon. We'll get Pedigo's kickoff here from the 40. Deep for Kokomo this time. I know we're seeing Jordan Rollins back there, but can't make out the other player that's back there with Rollins this time. But here comes the kick. And a squib it, and that's going to be picked up by Keenan Wheeler, and he had some return yards for Kokomo on that kick return, and that'll set up the offense for Kokomo at about the 36-yard line of their own territory, and boy, can we keep up in this track meet.
Well, we need to score, and we need to score quick. I'm curious to see if Kokomo's going to come out in the wing tee or they're going to go straight to the spread. It looks like they got the personnel in for the wing tee, as you see Jordan Holliman, number 44, in the huddle. And it does look like they're going to remain in the wing tee.
Well, we go back to what has worked for Kokomo, as we were talking during halftime, and this is what works. And this worked in the first quarter in that first series, and hand off to Holloman up the middle. There you go, see? Positive yards on first down. You'll get about 5 yards off that first down carry, and you can't ask for anything more than that as a coach when your offense can go at a 5-yard per carry clip.
Yeah, it's really going to wear down the legs of the defense. It's going to keep your offense on the field, chew up a lot of clock, but more importantly, it's going to keep Blake Elming off the field, and that's what Kokomo needs to do now.
Well, this is the dilemma that I think Coach Colby faces right now, because you don't want to run a lot of clock when you're 3 touchdowns down in the game. You need to score, so running clock may, not be that.
There's a lot of football left to play. We're still not even in the fourth quarter. We got 10 minutes left in the third, so I think Kokomo's just going to slowly chip away at this lead with this offense if they can.
And a little motion in the backfield here as Kokomo kind of leaned into that cadence from Kyle Wade, and that's going to mark the ball back the 5 yards they gained on first down, so we're back to second and about 10.
Tell you what, I was the biggest cheater in the world when it comes to that cadence. I would lean, and it wasn't until my senior year, about 6 weeks into the season, one of the coaches from the other team said, hey, I want you to watch, number one, because he's leaning. And I did it my whole high school career until about week 6, senior year.
Second and long now for Kokomo. Different play call for sure. Here comes Jerron Gray, and I'll tell you what, they have keyed on him, and that linebacking core. That time Parker Caldwell makes the tackle, but Lucas Robinson and Cole Williams, those 3 linebackers from McCutcheon have had a heck of a night, and Jerron Gray has not been able to get his motor running because of their play tonight.
Yeah, right there, number 54, Caldwell with the tackle, and I'm surprised with his speed, able to run down Jerron Gray right there with the size that 54 Caldwell has. Being able to catch Jerron Gray, it's pretty impressive.
Just making a quick read of what Kokomo's doing each time, and now you have Bo Baker, who's got no running room. And this time the stop starts with number 95, the defensive end, C.J. Yagi for the Mavericks, and it's 4th and long for Kokomo, and they're going to punt this ball away. Another lost opportunity for this offense.
Yeah, the air just slowly being let out of this Kokomo offense. Nothing really to be proud about right now for Kokomo's offense. A nice punt.
Excellent punt. And it's a fumble. Come on, get on that ball. And it's still loose, and they're still fighting for it. And referee's right there. It's going to be Kokomo ball. The turnover as Elming bobbled it on the punt return. The ball went deep, so it really moved him off of his mark, and he lost the ball.
I'll tell you what, for Jordan Rollins to kick that ball end over end that many yards, that's really impressive. I mean, when a ball and a punt is going end over end like you see here, it's hard to handle. So
look at that.
Absolute booming punt by Rollins.
And it's the quarterback, Wade, who had a chance of getting the ball. It was still loose at that point. I don't know if he's the one that finally got a hold of it. I think it was Wade that came up with the ball. And now Kokomo is 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line, and this is a big break for Kokomo. They got to take advantage.
Got to have a score.
Up the middle to Holloman. Boy, he meets a stiff defensive line, and look at those linebackers right in there on the tackle. Middle linebacker, Parker Caldwell, number 54 from McCutcheon, who's had an outstanding game, along with number 5, Trayshawn Hurd. I mean, these guys, we can call their names again and again. Mm-hmm. They're getting to the ball carrier.
Yeah, they're really doing a good job today. Talk a little bit more about Kokomo's red zone efficiency. They scored the only time they were in the red zone today. They're 18 for 19 on the season, so we'll see if they can keep that efficiency up.
Well, they got to do it now. 2nd and 10. No gain on that last running play for Holloman. Single back, pitch out to Jerron Gray. Oh, it's a option, gets a touchdown. What a catch by Bo Baker. He's in the end zone for the touchdown, and I'll tell you, a pass from Jerron Gray that it needed a lot of help.
Yeah.
And Bo Baker made it. Watch it on the replay here. Baker, his concentration, incredible coming up on his pass.
Well, the key really here is to sell the run. I don't think Jerron Gray really sold it well, but Bo Baker coming up with a great
He leaps
catch.
too soon, but my gosh, he gets the ball and across the end zone for the touchdown.
Oh, look at it slipping in between his legs there. Wow, what a great job able to maintain that catch all the way through the fall. I think the NFL and the high school has a little different rules. We're probably not going to see the booth overturn that one, but Bo Baker, great deal of concentration there.
on the back of his helmet, bye. That time he gets to say it. The extra point is good, and Kokomo gets a touchdown, closes the lead to a 2-touchdown lead on the Mavericks. And gosh, you still go back to, we got to stop this Mavericks team if Kokomo wants a shot at winning, but they've had some miraculous plays here in this game. A big touchdown pass by Wade, and now a touchdown pass by Jerron Gray to Bo Baker. Hey, it's fun football, to say the least.
Yeah, and I actually was talking to Coach Cole before the game. I said, hey, Coach, we throw a halfback pass at him first play of the game for a score, but cool to see that there. Nice pass by Jerron Gray.
So Baker there, as he was getting congratulations from his teammates there on that spectacular catch for the touchdown. Dunn is ready to kick off for Kokomo here, and this is critical, and special teams play has been a little bit suspect here, and I guess, in this game, but he's going to boot it away, and it's going to go to Donnie Blount from McCutcheon, and he's got an open field to run, and a saving tackle that time by Dunn himself, and that's going to set McCutcheon up at the 35-yard line, and he only had one guy to beat, and that was Dunn, but Dunn came through with the tackle.
Well, he's a soccer player. He might be an expert slide tackler, but I tell you what, he can tackle on the football field as well. Nice job by S.A. Dunn of saving 6 points.
Yeah, very well. So much speed to choose from here for McCutcheon, and you don't know who to kick it to anymore. They're all dangerous down there. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. It's Phillips, number 8, staying in at quarterback for McCutcheon. He hands off up the middle, and oh man, he gets some running room right there. Great surge from the offensive line. As that time they handed off to Levon Thompson, his first carry in this ball game. He showed some speed off the right side there.
Yeah, McCutcheon's running backs really hit the hole hard. I don't know if it's an optical illusion because their linemen get off the ball so well or not, which it probably might be, but McCutcheon's running backs just having a day.
Well, it's a big
run.
line up against a 3-man front for Kokomo, so they do have an advantage there. It's the linebackers that got to step up for Kokomo if they want to stop the run. Up the middle again. Kokomo's linebackers get there, but it's not going to be until the run is enough for a first down. Levon Thompson once again carrying for the Mavericks, and that will move the chains.
Kokomo's D just has to light a fire in their belly right now. They got to realize, hey, if we don't step up soon, this game's going to slip out of our hands the more this clock winds down. So
7:01 and counting here as the clock resumes after they move the chains. McCutcheon with a 35-21 lead in our CFD investment scoreboard. You're watching Fast Play Sports coverage of this game brought to you by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. I'm Alan James with Devin Schott, and he goes deep, but the pressure from Kokomo's defense finally gets him down. Will it be considered a sack? It is a loss of a yard, so yes, it is. Kokomo defense with a sack on the play. But I'll tell you, he had some place to go with the ball. I don't know if we can see if that'll be illustrated in the replay or not. It looks like they're calming the quarterback down a little bit after that play, but good pressure from the Kokomo D that time prevented what could have been a very successful deep pass for Aaron Phillips in that Mavericks offense. 2nd and 11, going to hand off this time. Linebackers step up and make a tackle, and that time for Kokomo, you get Jake Dalrymple. He gets in there for the tackle, and 3rd and about 5 now for McCutcheon. This is another big play for that Kokomo defense right now.
Yeah, this is one time you really need to step up. You got enough time to make a stop here. Kokomo have enough time to put another score on the board before the 4th starts, and then you got 12 minutes of football, and that's more than enough time.
I formation, play action, looks, pumps, and off the hands of intended receiver number 87, Grant Dempster. Looking for any flags on the field, nothing, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. It looks like McCutcheon is going to punt for the first time in this game here, and it came in the second half.
And that's a big stop by Kokomo's defense. I mean, McCutcheon maybe gave him a birthday present there, had a wide open receiver, just not able to connect right there, but nice job of Kokomo's defense absolutely stepping up when they had to.
Master Creations Jewelry, our 3rd quarter sponsor here of this ball game, and they get credit for quite Quite an extensive third as Kokomo is trying to mount a comeback here in the second half. Each team scoring here in the second half, and Kokomo has stopped the Mavericks. They're punting here on fourth down. Now a penalty flag, and that is going to be
delay
against. Delay.
Yep.
Against McCutcheon. So they'll set up for the punt formation once again. 5:24 to go here in the third. Kokomo will get the ball back, barring any miscue here on special teams. There's Master Creations Jewelry. I love this billboard effect for our sponsors during the game because it's great technology that we get to present here in high definition. Here's the snap, and Kokomo doesn't really put a strong rush on them. And that's going to take a nice McCutcheon bounce and set up at about the 14-yard line for Kokomo. It's a long way to go, but with the kind of offense that Kokomo grinds with, now I think is a good time to take some time off the clock and use up the remaining 5:14 left in this third to come within one touchdown of McCutcheon. That would be an awesome way to set up the fourth.
Yeah, you said it best, but it all starts with Kokomo's offensive line. They're going to need to get a push up front, and they're going to have to allow Kokomo to get 3 to 4 yards of carry.
McCutcheon's linebacker core, they've had an incredible game to this point, and they've really stifled, especially Jerron Gray. Gray has been held to under 50 yards in this game, and that is so rare for him. He is, one of the leading rushers in the conference, and they've had his number one in their sights for not a lot of yardage here today. About a 4-yard gain on first down for Kokomo, and that's more than enough they need on first down. Kyle Wade brings his squad to the line out of the huddle, under center. Puts Bo Baker in motion, but hands off to Holloman. Big fullback's only going to go for a couple of yards on second down. That's going to be a third and pretty long, probably a long 4 yards here for Kokomo here coming up on third down. Credit that defense, man. They get to the ball quick.
They're being super aggressive right now. I think Kokomo needs to do something to keep them honest. Maybe a waggle, maybe play action pass, something, because McCutcheon is sending a ton of pressure right now up the middle.
76, James Hopkins, 295 pounds. He's really stuffing that line of scrimmage. And there's where Jerron Gray's going to run. He's got just enough for the first down, and he's still going, and it takes about half of the backfield of the Mavericks on defense to get Jerron Gray down. He was not going to be denied on that third down conversion.
Yeah, nice job of Jerron Gray by staying on his feet, getting those extra yards. Big first down for Kokomo. Just continue to march down the field, knock down seconds off the clock.
This is how the coach is definitely drawing it up right now, and Kokomo stays in their tight wing offense. Do what they do best here with 3:42 and counting here in this third quarter. Jerron Gray gets the call again, up the middle. Positive yards again, almost 6 yards on the carry that time for Gray.
Jerron's doing a great job of staying tight to that wall, especially the point guard. Watch how tight he stays to this wall of blockers. Nice job by Jerron Gray. You really want to squeeze it. You really want to shoot yourself through that B gap, and that's exactly what Jerron Gray's doing there.
You had some excellent blocking that time on the left side as you had Jamal Kasem, number 71, Carson Gear, number 58, blocking for Gray on that run. Going to give it back to Jerron again, and that one he trips up a little bit as that that linebacker, Parker Caldwell, number 54, we've called his name a number of times, trips up Gray before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Short gain on the play. It's going to bring up a third down, and it looks like, nope. Are they moving the chains? Did he get enough for the first down? Unbelievable that Gray got that first down.
Did we miss something?
Here we go. 1st and 10 for Kokomo. Keep on going. This time Baker gets the call, cuts back to the right. Gets 3 or 4 before he stopped on the play. Really kind of the pile stopped Bo Baker on that play. A couple of big guys. You get number 71, Jamal Kasem again, and Kwamil Belt, the right guard. They made quite a pile for Bo to have to overcome there. And still a 4-yard gain, not bad on first down.
Kokomo's doing everything they need to do right now on this drive, just slowly chipping away.
under center. Pitch it to Jerron Gray. He's got some running room, and he could break one here, but he gets another first down. I tell you, Jerron Gray is a young man with a mission right now. He's been held to really an unacceptable amount of yards for what that young man has produced so far this year. Look at the drive that he has on this play.
Yeah, watch how deep he gets. He's able to receive the pitch and get straight upfield, not widen himself out. That's the goal in this offense, is to get deep with the motion and get straight up the field. Jerron Gray just
led by Carson Guerra on that block, too. That was excellent blocking for Kokomo on that play. First down, whistle blows. And
timeout.
Kokomo called a quick timeout, unhappy with what was happening on that play. It looks like Bo Baker's a bit upset, but he's got a shoe that he's got to get tied up again here. Coach Colby steps out on the field. Timeout for Kokomo with 1:44 to go here in the third quarter of play. Each team has scored here in the third. Our third quarter presented by Master Creations Jewelry. But they've been grinding it out here on this series. They started at, I think it was like the 14-yard line, if I recall. They've driven the ball into Mavericks territory to the 45. And first and 10 is what they have. But they had to call the timeout. Something wasn't right. And I think the coaching staff called the timeout. I don't think it was anybody on the field. There's Coach Colby talking to his guys above us in the press box here at the newly renovated Walter Cross Field. Here comes Kokomo, first and 10. Trying to score inside this third quarter to come within one touchdown of McCutcheon in an awesome ball game here tonight.
Looked like some movement up front on the offense.
That one's going to be on Kokomo.
Left tackle.
They are itching to get going here. And
like 71 to me.
Yeah, those kind of assignments are kind of tough. Jamal Kasem called with the false this entire series. They haven't really spread it out at all or tried to pass play or anything.
I'll tell you what, a 5-yard penalty with this offense really hurts you. I mean, it puts you back a play completely.
Baker looking for an opening, can't get there. And, credit another player who's really substituting here, Ben Davidson, number 48. I think he was wearing number 48, or maybe it was the number 40 that made the tackle. If that's the case, then it was Cole Williams, the linebacker. But they close quickly on Bo Baker in that play, and that's about a 2-yard gain. So I guess they're calling it a 4-yard gain. I think it's really only 3, but
spreading it out again.
2nd and 13 for Kokomo on this play. Clock rolling, almost a minute left in this third. This time Wade's going to go deep, and he's got Matthews open again, but great defense that time. They're going to call interference.
That's going to be a pass interference call. He did make contact with the receiver before the ball got to the receiver. I mean, it was clear. I think the referee made the right call there.
Well, this is not NFL rules at all here, so they don't spot the ball where the penalty happened.
We'll see it on the replay here.
Beautiful pass by Wade.
Yeah, could have hit him in stride a little better, but yeah, just the contact with the arms of the receiver right there.
And his head wasn't turned back at the ball, so yeah. Now, I believe it's only a 15-yard penalty, but it'll be an automatic first down for Kokomo. But great. Another show of how freshman Kyle Wade has a great arm. Again, call him Elway. I mean, I'll be the guy that first started that. I started that last week with him, but
he does. I mean, he looks very poised in the pocket. He's not scared to deliver that deep ball right there. He's probably a couple yards short on where the pass needed to be, but then you think again, hey, he's a freshman, so what more can you really say about the kid?
He's a freshman. So what? I'll tell you what, Kokomo is in position. 57 seconds, 56 on the clock, as you see right there, and they have if they score in the third, it'll be perfect, but scoring on this possession is a must to come within one touchdown. Kokomo confused again as Marcel Kenner is not out in the formation, so they've got to hurry up. 6 seconds left on the play clock. And Wade was falling down as he pitched the ball back to Jerron Gray, and he gets about maybe 6 yards on the carry.
Yeah, I'm just continued to be impressed by the way Jerron Gray is getting deep in the backfield on his motions. I mean, it is just it's textbook to what you want to do with this offense, because once you get deep, you have multiple holes to hit. If your hole closes up, I mean, Jerron Gray's just putting on a clinic right now.
Making about a 4-yard carry for Gray on first down. Second down at about 6. This time Bo Baker goes in motion. He may have some running room. If he can get outside and beat the edge, he's got some running room, and a penalty flag comes out.
Looks like they're going to call
going to be
a hold on Jerron Gray. It looked like Jerron had his man turned. He had his butt turned to the outside. The edge was sealed off. Bo Baker cut back on the inside, and it looked like maybe a late hold on Jerron Gray was called right there.
Just by the posture.
You see Jerron Gray get that edge block, had his butt turned. Bo Baker cut it back inside.
I didn't see holding.
I didn't see a hold
there,
either
but,
there on the replay, but
I have not seen what the penalty, but it did come back on Kokomo. But it looked like it came back as a post-possession foul because they marked the yardage off from where the ball was spotted at the end of that run. So that brought the ball back, but they're still looking at about a 2nd and 8.
Did we get an official call
on the play?
Right there?
I didn't see what the call was.
Huh.
But whatever it was, I think it was a post-possession penalty. I don't know how they marked that off. It's odd, but we don't have the advantage. And there goes the clock at the end of the third. Our quarter presented by Master Creations Jewelry. It's going to be an exciting fourth coming up here from Kokomo. Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo McCutcheon here on this Friday night, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We are Fast Play.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Button.
Choose from a selection of over 500 brand new Dodges, Chryslers, Jeeps, and Rams. Let our experienced team help find the perfect vehicle for you. And every purchase is backed with amazing Button customer service. Get behind the wheel of the all-new 2015 Chrysler 200, designed and engineered to outperform the best vehicles in the industry. Button, on the corner of Clayton Boulevard, or on the web at buttondodge.com. Imported from Detroit.
Building Kokomo!
Sold at Button.
Fast Play Sports coverage of Kokomo McCutcheon here on this second weekend of conference play here across Indiana High School gridiron action. This has been the duel that Kokomo coach Brett Colby says is the toughest opponent on Kokomo's schedule this year, and they are down by the score of 35-21 on our CFD investment scoreboard. We apologize that graphic continues to show the Marion Kokomo, but that is the correct score of 35-21 here in the fourth. Kokomo has the ball in the 31-yard line, and it is a second down play as Kyle Wade's in the shotgun. He's going to throw on this one. Pressure's there, screen play. Rollins goes backwards, but he's still upright, and he's getting across the first down marker. And what a recovery on that run from Rollins after he caught the ball from Wade.
Yeah, usually I'm not a fan of east to west running, but right there, Jordan Rollins able to run about 10 yards east and west, get up the field. Nice first down pickup from Kokomo. Back into the red zone. Actually, no, we're not.
Just short of the red zone, but a nice screen play, really, for Kokomo. Great execution. And Kyle Wade connects with Rawlings for that first down. Got a score in this possession. Back to the running formation. Wade under center. Gets it to Jerron Gray, who's trying to find an opening there on the right side. And look at that defense just push him back. Lucas Robinson, number 12, part of that devastating linebacking core from McCutcheon. Played all the way to the whistle and then some on that. Rollins gets a couple of yards on the carry. It's going to bring up a second and about 8 yards to go.
Tell you what, the difference in the game here, I'm looking at the stats. We had Blake Emling at 264 yards at the half. Last quarter held to only 38 yards total, so that seems to be the difference right now.
And one of them was really that touchdown run he had there in their first possession. Bo Baker fights for some more yards, but he's going to be well short of the first down, as that's going to bring up a third and probably about 5 yards to go for Kokomo here on this conversion. This is an important play. Again, another third down conversion on this series for Kokomo. We've been seeing a lot of that this time, but they've been successful. But this is nerve-wracking if you're a Kokomo fan.
This is definitely 4-down territory, but they need to pick up at least 3 right here, in my opinion.
Gray finds some room up the middle, and it looks like he has enough for the first down. That pile continues to go till they blow the ball dead at about the 11, and that's enough for a first down. So Kokomo in the red zone. First down and 11 to go for another score, and they've got to get the score now. They've got to set that defense, hold McCutcheon. They got to keep scoring on offense. Whoa, this is a nail-biter here in the fourth. 35-21. Kokomo trying to come back on McCutcheon here. Big NCC conference action here. Holloman out wide left in this formation. Baker comes outside. Boy, look at that. He's just, once again, McCutcheon's defense, this time the defensive end, C.J. Yagi, he was not fooled by anything with a change of formation, the pitch quick to Bo Baker, and he throws Baker for almost a 5-yard loss on that play.
Loss of 5 on the play, loss about a 15-yard.
That is a different down and distance setting. Watch how this sets up, and look at the play. I mean, it's just an incredible play as Yagi beats Jamal Kasem at the line of scrimmage and gets right back there. Kokomo hurries to the line with 2 seconds on the clock. They get the play off. Back to pass is Wade. He's going to roll right. He's looking, goes deep to Rollins, and touchdown for Matthews, actually. Is he going to get the score? They're talking about it. Did he keep his feet in bounds, and they call it a touchdown? What a pass play by Kyle Wade.
Nice job by Kyle Wade, extending the play with his feet right there. Actually throwing it kind of into double coverage right there, but what an amazing pass, just delivering the ball right where it needs to be on the run. Back leg. Oh, that's a phenomenal pass by Kyle Wade. It's even better on the replay, Alan.
Feeder basically inside the 1 for Matthews, and he rolls across the goal line.
They're calling it
hits
back.
the pylon. No, I think there was a penalty, but that's going to be on the conversion. What do we have here?
An eligible receiver downfield.
Oh, no kidding. So they take the points off the board. It's going to bring up a long second down play. Don't get the touchdown.
Somebody's going to hear about that tomorrow during films. I am sure of it.
That's a tough call right there. Missed it as we were looking at the replay. Going to pass again. Wade's looking. Going to go across the middle this time, and that, nearly intercepted as he was trying to get it to Keon Washington. But he had the secondary of McCutcheon right there, but they could not get a beat on the ball. So now, third down and a long, you get a long 20 for the first down, which puts them inside the 2-yard line for the first down. So they really got to get into the end zone. What a devastating turn of events with the penalty taking those points off the board after the Wade to Matthews touchdown pass. Moments like that can cost you a ball game. 4 receivers set for Kokomo on this third down and long. Kyle Wade's looking. He's got the pressure, throws it into the end zone. It's a little long, and the ball is caught, but it's out of bounds, unfortunately. Yep. Jordan Rollins, he had good position, caught the ball, but he had 1 foot really out of play, and that's incomplete.
Just not aware of where he was on the line.
Well, the ball was thrown just a bit long as it goes in there.
We'll see it here. You only need 1 foot in high school. Oh, just barely got that.
Just a little
foot was
long.
on the backside of the line. You got to be aware of that when you're a receiver, though. You have to be aware of where you are in the end zone.
Well, Kokomo knows this is a do-or-die situation, so they go for it here on 4th down and 20. They're on the 20-yard line. They'll try and get it into the end zone again. This will drive the crowd to a frenzy if they pull it off this time. To the middle, it's almost intercepted, but that...
Yeah, just
Boy,
no
the
time.
linebackers were back in pass coverage right there as Parker Caldwell got at least a hand on that ball but could not intercept. It only would have changed the field position for McCutcheon. Unfortunately, Kokomo unable to put some points on the board there. They had it. Penalty cost them. Still 2 touchdowns down in this game now. We're in the 4th. And this is where McCutcheon, they really have not been grinding in offense here. They've been getting big scores and big plays.
I expect them to try to catch Kokomo off guard. I think they're going to go on the ground for the first few plays, and I think they're going to, well, there you go.
There we go.
Never mind.
They spread Kokomo out, but this time Rollins catches him, and you can't get every run for a touchdown, Mr. Elming, but has another big run up the middle. But they spread Kokomo out. If we get to the replay here, double wide out. Kokomo's got to spread out to cover that. Look at that gaping hole in the middle. And but it was just unfortunate that Brevin Ellis just couldn't make the tackle to the line of scrimmage because he was the man on the ball carrier. But
it's crazy to think that a guy
biggest run in the second half for Elming.
It's crazy to think that a guy his size would do this much damage running in between the tackles, but I don't think that he's run outside at all game. It's all been right up the middle.
32-yard line, 1st and 10 for McCutcheon. New man with the fullback position right there. Number 45, Cole Jared. Or is it Cole Gerard, perhaps? Cole Gerard gets a nice 9-yard carry on the play. In fact, they're going to give him 10 yards and mark it as a first down. 1st and 10 from now the 23-yard line. 23-yard line for McCutcheon. Elming still in the game. You see him in the backfield. I formation for McCutcheon. Long cadence. Fullback gets the call again. Gerard goes for a couple of yards on this particular play. 2nd and 8 coming up for McCutcheon, and they're running some clock here as well. They've got a 2-touchdown lead on Kokomo here in the 4th, 35-21 on our CFD investment scoreboard.
Whatever Kokomo does, they cannot get beat by the tight end. Grant Dempster. He's still in the game, the big body number 87 right there. Stop the run, but more importantly, do not let 87 get past your secondary.
Phillips hands it off up the middle, and that is, I won't say he walked into the end zone, but he was there pretty quick as the 5th touchdown run for Blake Elming here in this ball game, and he has his record book numbers here for McCutcheon tonight.
I'll tell you what, there's probably only one running back in the state of Indiana with 14 rushing TDs through this point of the season, and that man, his name is Blake Elming.
And this is 5A, too. This is going places. This is something that you'd like to think that IU and Purdue would make note of. This guy's got some speed, and another point-after touchdown for Mr. Pedigo, and that's going to give McCutcheon another 3-touchdown lead, 42-21 on our CFD investment scoreboard. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back right after this in the 4th quarter of our Kokomo-McCutcheon game, presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We are Fast Play.
Welding students from the Kokomo Area Career Center helped create a new look for Walter Cross Field.
They actually designed, built, and finished all the benches and screens and lattice work.
Hardest part of the project, the benches, personally, which probably would have been the overhead welds I had to do when I was welding underneath the bench.
Kind of makes me happy. I mean, to see that it's out somewhere so people can see it.
Back we are, Walter Cross Field. Kokomo is down by 3 touchdowns to the McCutcheon Mavericks from Lafayette. As the Mavericks will kick off here as they're up 42-21 with 6:54 left to go in the game. They kick away. Kokomo's Keenan Wheeler takes the kickoff and brings it back to about the 36, 37-yard line. No penalties on that kickoff. Kokomo is back on offense. See what they're going to try and pull off here is the...
No Holloman in the huddle, so expect the spread. But Kokomo's offensive line has to give Kyle Wade a little more time. I mean, every time they tried to pass last set of downs, Kyle Wade was rushed. The only pass that he got off, he had to use his feet to extend the play, and then it was called back for a illegal man downfield. So Kokomo's offensive line needs a little work right here.
Shotgun formation for Wade. Pass quick this time to Washington, and he is grabbed right away as the coverage was excellent by number 12, Lucas Robinson. one of the three big linebackers for McCutcheon, who've been so excellent here tonight. They really have dominated. They are ball hawks, as we have illustrated in many different times in the game, and they really forced Kokomo to yet another loss on a pass play, too. 2-yard loss on that play. Here comes Kyle Wade in the huddle, giving his Cats the play call. Freshman quarterback here for the Cats. There's Baker in the backfield with him. He's going to pass this time. Ball a little low that time for Rollins, and he can't catch it. 3rd and long for the Cats this time, and they certainly are playing as if desperation is on their mind.
Yeah, and only when they attack the field deep, that seems to be the only thing that's open. But Kyle Wade just doesn't have enough time to let his receivers get that deep downfield. Kokomo needs a prayer right here.
Now you see the players, you see number 12 for Kokomo is, Jordan Matthews walking out to the huddle. I mean, you just feel these guys are just not as into it here at this stage with 3 touchdowns as a definite screenplay. This time to Rollins doesn't go anywhere. Look at those guys. The pursuit of those linebackers for McCutcheon continues to be the nemesis of this Kokomo offense. They have had such a great game. If I had to say, the strength of this defense for McCutcheon has really been pointed out with the 3 linebackers in that defense. They've had such an outstanding game. Kokomo hasn't been able to do anything because of those 3 guys, in my opinion.
And Kokomo's going to have to go back, look at the videotape, figure out what they did wrong, and find out what they need to do to prepare for a possible sectional opponent.
Yeah, they could draw them in the sectional, and there you go. High snap, but Rollins gets that put off. Nice one. Nice all the way back to the 31.
Ball.
He's dropped the ball.
Scoop and
score. Pick
score.
it up this time. And you've got Perry McCullen, and he can't quite get to the end zone. No penalty flags on the play. A legitimate play. Great special teams event. Once again, that's the second time Kokomo's gotten the ball on a punt.
Nice job of Kokomo's punt team of just getting downfield. A booming punt again by Jordan Rollins. Kokomo's team just able to get down there. Unfortunately, McCutcheon not calling for the fair catch.
Boom.
Nice contact
right
there.
too. Yeah, it's Trayshawn Hurd who is trying to receive that punt from McCutcheon. But now we've got a conference by the referees out here now. So it's moving Kokomo backward, and I think there's an argument about where the ball should be placed, that he could not advance the ball from there and run down inside the 5 like he did. So they're placing the ball where the fumble occurred and right where McCullum picked it up, but they are saying he wasn't allowed to advance after he picked up that ball. So they spot the ball for Kokomo, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, and Kokomo still has a chance to put some more points on this board here in the 4th quarter. Gray's going to take this ball. He's got some running room to the outside, and he's got a decent gain on 1st down, almost 8 yards on that carry. Something from nothing, really, because it's so congested there. These 2 lines, the Kokomo offensive line and that 4-man front for McCutcheon, has been battling this whole game, and they haven't given up a whole lot of room.
Sean Gray on that last attempt jumped over a couple linemen, able to add about 6 yards.
We've seen that a couple of times here, as Bo Baker's had the same kind of situation where he's had to get over these linemen as they're on the ground. Baker with the carry this time. Boy, he's tough on this particular play, and he gets all the way down to the 10-yard line. Actually, the 11 is where they're going to spot him after forward progress, but boy, that was some tough running from Bo Baker right there.
Yeah, and that was the great job of what I was talking about earlier, getting deep with the motion here, getting straight up the hole. You'll see him realize that there's a cutback lane. He hits it, picks up an extra 5 yards.
It took 4 guys to get Bo Baker down on that play. Some tough running. Gray this time cuts inside, jumps up in the air, and then he's met by, again, Lucas Robinson, number 12. Those linebackers, again, doing the job for McCutcheon all night long. Second down and 8 for the 1st down. Kokomo's been here a couple of different times and did not come out of it with a score.
Expecting a rocket to the wide side of the field. Waggle.
Wide open. Overthrown. Oh, my goodness. Corey Schrock was open. He got some separation on that play against his defender. But that time Wade actually just overthrew it. Third down now. And this is the breakdown that Kokomo has seen. Penalties have been rampant inside the red zone for the Wildcats tonight on offense when they get into the red zone. And just miscues have really cost them a chance to stay with McCutcheon here tonight. 3rd and long. Kyle Wade trying to get Holloman in the right position there. Going to pitch out to Gray. He's going to try that option pass again. And, in the backfield, the pressure came from Brad Myers, number 93, from McCutcheon as he broke loose from his block. And Sharon Gray didn't have even a second to think about throwing that ball.
That was a good job by Trayshawn Hurta covering up Bo Baker right there, the only wide receiver out there to catch a pass. Trayshawn Hurd covering him up pretty well.
Kokomo and Coach Colby called a timeout. He wants to actually talk to the offense about this play. Get the boys some water. Some other coaches out there to... Which Colby is that that's out there now? I can't tell from behind which one that is. All of the coaches' sons.
That's awesome. I think Cameron is somewhere up here with
Cameron's upstairs.
Ron Colby, the oldest, the veteran of the group.
Yeah, RC.
RC, as we call him.
That's right.
They man the eye in the sky, take care of the defense, I'm pretty sure. Austin, the oldest of the Colby sons, I think he helps out with the secondary. I tell you what, those two kids are bound to be coaching their own football program sometime down the road.
They had to live a life with Dad playing football. So let's see the advantage that Kokomo is going to have with calling a timeout with his 4th and long. Spread the field on offense. Wade in the shotgun. He's looking for the end zone. Oh, he's going deep into the end zone, but he overthrew that ball. It goes out of bounds, and that is yet another unfortunate failed attempt inside the red zone. And Kokomo was so successful going into tonight in their red zone performance, but they have certainly changed how their statistics are being run on that now.
You can't forget, Alan, they're playing one of the better teams in the state in 5A. And, when I talked to Coach Colby before the game, he was stressing me, hey, our team is playing pretty well, but we're still 1 year away from contention. They have a lot of young kids. He was saying their offensive line's young, their defensive line's young, and they're really just 1 year away from being in serious contention. I can see that. This is a solid group of kids, and I think they're going to do nothing but grow each year.
They grow with every game. You never know what they'll be able to produce once they get to the tournament. But for right now, they are running this 3-4 defense against this McCutcheon offense, and they have given up a ton. Almost literally. A ton. The numbers may even be close to a ton when it's all said and done. But you call that a learning experience for sure. But this is the kind of thing that reminds you of where you need to be in the offseason. Where do you need to be in the offseason if you're a football player?
In the weight room, especially if you're up front offensively and defensively. I mean, those are huge, those fronts for Kokomo, especially the offensive line. You have to be in the weight room. You cannot be able to be pushed around like Kokomo's offensive line has done. They've been pushed around tonight. But, yeah, that's where it starts, in the weight room.
Yep. And when you get up into the weight range of 250 to 300 pounds, I mean, that's a heavy body, and you've got to be able to support that with strength that can lift that body up off the ground in a quick fashion and
tell you what,
be able to carry some speed with that kind of weight.
Footwork. Yep. Also very important for Kokomo's offensive line. You got a lot of pulling guards.
Well, you watch NFL players, a lot of college players, especially D1, they're sporting 300 pounds or better, but they've got the footwork that makes them a professional player. If you're at the high school level, the better skill that you develop through weight training and learning those fundamentals of the footwork and how to position your body to move it correctly makes you a better high school athlete too. So it does begin probably most often sophomore year on up. Those 3 years, you really see a high school student athlete develop his prowess as a football player.
That reminds me a lot of what an old coach used to tell me. He said, son, talent will only get you so far. It's that hard work and your work ethic that's going to put you over the top. And unfortunately, I wasn't lifting weights.
Yeah. I'm going to be a broadcaster. Just leave me alone. It's just great to be here. It was weird. I was a varsity starter in high school, and if I have a dream about playing football again, it's sad because at my age now, as I dream about being in high school football again, I'm not a starter. That's the weirdest thing. I was always a starter, but when I dream about it now, I'm not allowed to be a starter. I don't know what that means in my deep psychosis when I'm sleeping, but it just I must wake up in a sweat going, what do you mean I'm not a starter? That wasn't how it really went. My history is much richer than that. But getting some clean jerseys out there for McCutcheon here in this series as they have a 4th down.
Yeah,
We're down about along 2 or 3.
Run the play clock all the way down to 1. Boot it with about, what do you got, 45 seconds?
Yeah, under 43. A minute to go.
Even less, 40 exactly.
And now the referees are...
Who's stopping the clock?
Stopping the clock for something. And then Kokomo's swapping a few players out on this punt return team as well. But I don't know if that was a timeout called or what that was.
Oh, we've seen some crazy things today. We saw a first down that was awarded that
we didn't know
was about 6 yards short, in my opinion.
We don't know how that happened. Even our replay couldn't help us on that deal. But here we are, McCutcheon in a punt formation. And now the penalties come out. A flag is thrown as there may have been a mouthpiece. Oh, yep, there it is. Mouthpiece not in. And is that Fleming? Is that Fleming with the – no, it's number 30, I think. Number 30 for McCutcheon is Dakota Lovelace.
Waving off the flag.
Another waving it off.
They just want the clock to run, I think, without a punt.
Well, you can see a mouthpiece dangling. You can see way through the flag, but maybe he has braces or something.
Well, now the clock's not running. The clock was running. We've had 2 play clocks run. The game clock has run through 2 play clocks, all 50 seconds.
And here we go. There's the punt. Nice punt this time, too.
That is a deep punt.
Wow. Here comes Aldridge. Doesn't get much running room as the pursuit from McCutcheon was incredible there on special teams, but you see a lot of those defensive starters that were out there on the punt team for McCutcheon. You get to see guys like that linebacking core of Robinson, Caldwell, and Williams out there. These guys are ball hawks. If you want to stop an opposing runner, those 3 guys should be getting all conference awards, I think, for their play this year. And you look at these 3, and Robinson's the senior, Caldwell, number 54, is a junior, and Cole Williams, number 40, is a sophomore. That is the toughest linebacking core I've seen in a long time here in high school football. They've had a great game tonight. Still running players out onto the field for Kokomo with 10 seconds on the play clock. And I think we're just going to probably kneel and go here. I think that would be the prudent thing to do. But they hand off with very little production. And I didn't get the ball carrier. Was that Holloman, the fullback?
That's going to be
I tell you, we saw him in the first series of the game. He was very productive, and then they shut him down. Give McCutcheon credit. Their defense was outstanding tonight against Kokomo. And the clock expires here at the end of the game. Our CFD Investment scoreboard has it. The McCutcheon Mavericks beat the Kokomo Wildcats 42-21, and McCutcheon is on top of the NCC without an argument. Kokomo suffers their first loss in conference play here tonight. Our telecast of Fast Play Sports is presented by the Kokomo Perspective newspaper and by Xfinity. We'll give you a recap of the game coming up here. We are Fast Play.
Master Creations Jewelry is your best option for buying jewelry. Master Creations Jewelry sells for half the price of most jewelers. Locally owned, Master Creations makes custom jewelry made for you. Are you also in need of cash? Master Creations buys gold, silver, and your old jewelry. Get the best value from people you can trust. Work with a jeweler that makes jewelry affordable. Master Creation Jewelers on Markland Avenue and Cooper Street, Kokomo.
KT Sports will give you the latest in local sports scores, news, and features right where you want them. In the Kokomo Tribune and at kokomotribune.com. KT Sports will bring you last night's touchdown passes, smashes and saves, and a preview of what you can expect at the latest tennis match and cross-country finish line. Your neighbor's kids, your son, your niece, your grandkids, KT Sports will bring their games right to your doorstep. Positively part of the game, KT Sports.
Men and women of UAW 1166 are committed to a great product and a great community. UAW 1166 represents the workers at the Kokomo casting plant. Proud to have helped Chrysler resume its role as a leader in the automotive industry. UAW 1166 encourages you to buy what we build locally. Buy Chrysler products. Strength and solidarity, more important than ever.
There you're looking at the McCutcheon Mavericks after their big win over the Kokomo Wildcats here at Kokomo tonight. On our CFD investment scoreboard, the final 42-21. And as we get to look at the final statistics here in the game, the first one that we see that is humongous is running back Blake Elming for McCutcheon. He ran for 332 yards against that Kokomo defense tonight, and 5 touchdowns. And, I mean, if you got one guy to stop, I mean, this guy, they couldn't stop him. It was amazing.
Kokomo had no answer for him. I mean, he just had his way, running in between the tackles, too, surprisingly. And, I mean, he probably broke 4-plus runs for 50-plus yards for touchdowns. I mean, it was an absolute.
Now, you, as a alumni of the Kokomo Wildcats, you know that Coach Colby, you kind of have an idea of what he's going to focus on as he looks at the films over the next 12 hours and sees his team in the morning. The linebacking core probably going to catch quite a bit of the wrath of the coach because you got a 3-4 defense. It's up to the linebackers to stop the run.
I'll tell you what, Saturdays after playing poorly, there's nothing scarier than walking into a film room having to get ready to have yourself ripped by Coach Colby.
And you were winning making those days. You guys never lost conference games back when you were playing.
Win or lose, you're probably going to get chewed out. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I don't know. I'll give Brett Colby some credit. I mean, he knows where his team is at. His expectations, his team is living up to the expectations that he has of them at this stage. Only football fans expect a team to win all the time. Mm-hmm. Coaches know where their teams are, and he knows where this team is. So I don't know what did he expect against what he considered to be the toughest football team that he was going to play this year, in the regular season? He knew it was going to be tough, and you know where your team is at when you get to the end of a game like this and you've lost 42-21.
Well, I like to put it in this perspective for people out. I mean, we've had teams in recent history that'll go 8-1, 9-0.
Sure.
But when you compare those teams playing some of the state's top talent, I mean, those teams will get run. I mean, any time that we played in sectionals, besides maybe my senior year, I mean, we got our butts handed to us. I mean, and these are two teams that Kokomo's played in the past 3 weeks that are top 10 in the state.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're holding their own.
Yep. And I'll get some stats coming. You're going to get a couple of recognized sponsors and people that are supporting our telecast here tonight, and then I'll kind of look over some stats here on the Kokomo side of the ball.
Yeah, we want to thank Small Giant Designs for providing us with the aerial footage. You've seen the camera drone in one of those segments that we had, and we'd like to thank Small Giant Designs again for that. That was an absolute amazing view they provided for us. Oh, and also, I'd like to thank again, one more time, Bella's Pizzeria for providing us with the food before the games. A true New York-style eatery. Folks, I'm telling you, got to try Bella Pizzeria. Next time you are in the Markland Mall, stop by, grab a slice. You're not going to be disappointed, I guarantee it.
As we look at Kokomo's statistics here in the game, and things turned around for Kokomo, but for the first time in 4 games this season, the tandem of Baker and Gray did not go for 100 yards apiece in the backfield. They were both held to just under 90 yards apiece in this game, so that tells you a little bit of difference in how Kokomo was held by McCutcheon to less production. I mean, Kokomo went into the game leading the conference in rushing, but, boy, I think that'll be different here after this week as McCutcheon comes back with a vengeance, really, with 386 rushing yards to Kokomo's 222. Actually, I think Kokomo still maintains its lead as the leading rushing team in the NCC, but this was a great defensive contest in many ways for McCutcheon here tonight, and they got the score to show for it. A lot of statistics for Kokomo, especially in the passing game, did not make the stat sheet because of penalties and some other issues, but Kyle Wade, freshman quarterback for Kokomo, had a strong outing, and he would have better stats if it weren't for penalties because he threw a beautiful touchdown pass that was turned back on a penalty. Kyle Wade finished 6 for 6. Well, he was 16 passes, 6 completions, and 1 interception, 59 yards and a touchdown. Gray got a touchdown on an option pass too, but Kyle Wade, give him some credit. He had some good looks and looked good throwing the ball here tonight for Kokomo. On the other side, Aaron Phillips was the dominant quarterback for McCutcheon. They had 2 in there at different times tonight. He threw a beautiful touchdown pass in the first. He finished 3 for 4, and he had 72 yards and a touchdown here in this game tonight. So McCutcheon, they're the best in the conference, and they proved it here tonight. They're the highest-ranked team in the NCC, and I think they earned that, didn't they?
I think they did, and I think Kokomo, learned a lot today. Anytime you can face a sectional opponent before the actual sectionals, I mean, it's a win-win situation. Regardless if they won this game or not, they're going to take what they need, and they're going to be able to apply that to a possible sectional opponent.
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors supporting us for our webcast here of Kokomo High School football, and we will continue to work this football season. Next week, we will be at Northwestern as they will host Taylor. Did we see a final in that Northwestern game by chance? Check your
I can pull up
some your stats on that.
Twitter scores.
So we'll have a chance to go out into the county and showcase the Northwestern Tigers, and then the following week we'll have a chance to see the Western Panthers, and then we'll be back to wrap up the home season for Kokomo here with Fast Play Sports. We are in a great relationship with the Kokomo Perspective newspaper as they help to present our telecasts each week, and of course Comcast and Xfinity by Comcast, Channel 81, 9 p.m. Wednesdays for the replay of our contests here from Fast Play Sports. So we thank all of our sponsors that are also involved with making all this possible for you. It's a tough loss for Kokomo tonight, but one that I know the team will learn from as Coach Colby will do his job with his coaching staff to make these kids ready for next week's game. For Devin Schott, I'm Alan James and the entire Fast Play crew. We thank you for watching here, presented by the Kokomo Perspective and Xfinity. We are Fast Play.